Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what has been called, despite my not having a vote in it, Dungeons and Dragonites.
I don't mind it at all! Yay!
Yay!
Just like me when Zelda I didn't want to say anything. I was like, that's a real bad title. I wish I had a better tagline for it.
What?
And then 5 seconds ago, I remembered that you called it Unsealed Edition.
It's fine. It's fine. Dungeons and Dragonites is a good name. He said,
Man,
biting
it's
his
whatever
tongue.
we call it on YouTube. It doesn't matter.
I like it.
But yes, the actual title of the campaign, I guess Dungeons and Dragonites can be the, like, system. And, the name of the campaign is the Unsealed Edition, or Legend of the Unsealed, whatever flavor you like your Pokemon titles in, movie or game. Anyway.
I have a question.
Yes, Jay.
There was a YouTube comment earlier. Somebody asked
Right,
what
I'm actually-
kind of,
I'm looking.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say the guy's name, but the page is loading very slowly.
I
One
see.
person at a time.
They're asking, like, what kind of set of rules you used to build this, or did you make your own?
It's called I Do What I Want, baby.
There you go!
I do...
Okay.
Okay, so I can explain the system very loosely. I don't want to explain everything because I don't want to give away
Right.
the like magic that, you know, makes it amazing. That being me, of course. But no, the general basis of the rule set is the Pokemon level up when I say they do. The Pokemon evolve when I say they do.
Nice.
But as far as the combat system is concerned, the Pokemon will learn the moves whenever they would in the most recent edition of the video game. So I'm just going by, like, straight off of Bulbapedia's list of Pokemon moves and what have you.
Sun and Moon.
Yeah. So whenever a Pokemon attacks, I use its accuracy rating. If an accuracy is 100%, you roll a d20. If you roll a 1, you miss. Otherwise, you will hit. If you roll a 20, you do a critical hit. If the attack, for example, has a 50 accuracy, like, like Fissure or whatever, they have like 30% accuracy, whatever. But let's just say the move has 50% accuracy. You roll the d20. If you roll a 10 or higher, well, if you roll an 11 or higher, you hit. So pretty much just using the accuracy of the attack as a percentage determines what you have to roll to hit the Pokemon. Things will change that, like if the opposing Pokemon uses a move that raises its evasion, double team or something, then it will become harder to hit the Pokemon. I'll keep track of that.
Man, this is
additionally,
this is a lot of in-depth info. Let's go. Yeah.
And if what determines damage is the damage rating of the attack. So, for example, if the attack has a 40 damage base, like I think Tackle does, for example, you'll roll a d4, and that'll determine the damage that it does. And
I have those now!
what?
D4s. I have a
Oh,
I have a
yeah,
D4 now.
and let's have a small round of applause, even if you're giving it to yourself, for the people that actually went out and bought dice. Good job.
Yay!
Boo!
Everybody
So
got
many!
it.
I
Well,
bought
I'm like-
myself 6
Fucking-
sets of dice.
Yeah,
Just buy
Hannah,
yourself a horse and carriage next time.
Hannah
Fucking
sent me a
sheesh.
picture. She's like, I got my dice, and she sent me a picture of 6 satchels of dice. And at first, I thought, like, that was the demo image that the shop had of, like,
Yeah.
oh, these are our various products. No, she literally bought 6 sets of dice.
They came in a set. It was like $12, and they had a pink one, and I'm using the pink one.
Bought enough dice for the entire player base, including the DM.
Yeah, but it's for me because I want them. Pretty shiny. Take home, put in nest.
Anyway, so yes, those are the basic rules. There's a lot of, like, really quick math I do on the side to determine whether or not, like, something has an additional effect or whatever. If I ask you to roll another die, it's probably to determine whether or not you get, like, the paralysis or the burn effects from your Pokemon's attacks.
No!
So all kinds of stuff like that. And I also use a randomization system to determine which wild Pokemon you'll run into, if any. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the system, but it is all homebrewed. Maybe one day, if I feel really productive, I'll sit down and try to actually lay out all the mechanics in, like, a pamphlet, so, like, 2 people can download it on, like, Dropbox or something.
Right. You know the reason I didn't do that for Zelda D&D? Because then I'd have to be consistent with the rules.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's one of the real quick aside before I get into starting the game up again. One of the things I really love about D&D is that, especially as the DM, the rules are really just kind of a suggestion. As long as you follow the primary skeleton of how the game works, then you can really fudge whatever you want as long as the players don't know it. So there'll be times when I was like DMing actual D&D campaigns, and because this is fake D&D, standard D&D campaigns, and I would be like, and the enemy rolls and says here that they got a crit, and that would kill you, and your character would be permanently dead. But we were having a really good roleplay session, so I'm just gonna say they hit you but didn't kill you. So you know.
Nice.
Anyway. So there you go. There's your DM secret. I just ruined it for everybody. Your DM may be fudging stuff behind the lines if you're not
Ruined.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, I ripped the
wow.
veil away. Anyway,
Drunken asks, what did everybody name the starters? Well, I don't know about the others, but I didn't name mine because I don't want to get confused.
well, let's go
Yeah.
ahead. And,
I'm
while you're
not gonna
taking
name
that,
mine.
We'll go ahead and take
I'm
it.
gonna name mine. 'Cause I can't remember-
Nidoran.
What's it called? Timone?
Tynamo.
Tynamo. Its name is Tyrone.
All right.
Tyrannamo. Anyway, so, who wants to give me a recap of what happened last 2 weeks ago?
We give you the recap on the show.
Yeah. Gotta make sure
I
you
haven't
guys
had
experience it. Well,
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z. Everybody, we have Seth Gravely, played by me, Rowan Moore, played by Hannah, Kieran Fafner, played by Jay, and Lily Smelsner, played by Ryu. And all four of us, we just started out our Pokemon journey. We're not allowed to take any Pokemon out from home or whatever. We went to, what was his name? His name was Dr. Henry Koro Zelkova's lab, and he gave me a Litwick, Jay a Tynamo, Ryu a Lotad, and Hannah a male Nidoran. And then they sent us off to go do gyms and stuff to go take on the Pokemon League, which we could apparently only do as a team of 4.
Yep.
And only at night.
And well, I don't know about that.
That's
the
only
first,
about
gym,
the
the
first
gym.
The first gym we can only do at night.
First gym we can only do at night, so maybe it's a dark time, maybe it's a ghost type to know. We're gonna find out probably pretty soon. But before we get to there, we have to stop by Terenia Town, because that's on the way and shit. Cool.
very good. There's some
Also-
stuff that happened.
Yeah, also Jay has a pit of.
Yeah, how did Jay get a pie of?
We get to bribe the guard of the route who wants
Timothy's
money.
nephew.
But we're gonna do him a favor.
Oh, we did him a favor, all right.
Yeah, we're doing the service and goods and service.
Oh yes. We
Okay.
served him.
Yeah, stop that. All right, so you guys, you completed Route 1. You helped a gentleman who was really bad at his job get rid of some pidovs,
like
so
them.
that his uncle wouldn't find out that he's lousy at his job. You managed to get through the toll booth, and Jay catching one of the pidovs you dispatched along the way.
The
And
angriest goddamn pit up
the
I've ever seen in my
angriest
life.
pidov ever.
Do I have Ash's primate in bird form?
Sure, yeah. However you want. See, that's the general idea. Whenever a wild Pokemon shows up, I will give it a, like, general vague personality type. And you're more than welcome to run with that or change it after you catch it. That's up to you. Like, your Pokemon's character arc goes in whatever direction you want it to go after you catch it.
Oh, I know about my character. What about everybody else's? I got him because character arc, right?
God damn it.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
His name is Archie.
shit.
got
So-
him.
It's a joke.
So in summary, the gatekeeper said that we could go by if we did a little favor for him.
Yeah.
So we fluffed his birds, and in the
We
end,
did.
Jay wrangled a pecker, and we got through.
Yep, that's
Wow.
exactly what happened. Also, Rowan almost murdered someone.
Yeah, I was
With
gonna
a
say
knife.
you're missing
Oh,
one
yeah.
final piece
Yeah.
of very important information.
Very important. Rowan almost killed someone. Nidoran almost definitely poisoned him. And now there's an injured Spinda in our midst that we're trying to get to a Pokemon Center in Terenia Town.
Lit his shoes
Yes,
on fire,
that's
too.
right.
That was
We all,
fun.
yes, his shoes, Litwick.
Yeah.
Litwick,
Litwick.
the best.
Too good.
Yes.
Too good.
And do you remember what the guy said
He was part of Team Tetrad, and he had a
Yes.
bad tie or something.
Yeah, shit tie.
He had a 4-colored tie.
Yeah,
It
he had
was
a bad
red,
tie.
blue, yellow, and green. He ripped it
Yeah,
off and
bad
threw
tie.
it on the ground and ran away, saying that, it wasn't worth it and that he was a member of Team Tetrad and et cetera, et cetera.
My theory, based on the colors, is that he's actually an employee for Google.
Stop, you're killing
Sorry,
Hannah.
I'm still a little sick.
All right, so yes, that is more or less the entire story of what happened last week, and we told that all in 15 minutes. All right,
We did.
so, or 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so you guys are now, if I can find it.
Like that was quick. 15 minutes and already starting? Wow.
Why can't I? Jesus Christ.
Well, you should listen to the pre-shows we do for Zelda.
I do. They last forever.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guys managed to get on the other side of the toll booth, and as you do, you cross over into Route 2. You
Nice.
are over here, we'll say,
Yay.
in this general
Alright.
area coming through.
Can the chat see that?
The chat should be able to see it.
Yeah.
Your arrow, I mean.
Oh, no, okay, so they're on the
Uh.
right side. They're
Mhm.
over here coming in through the right side, and they're entering Route 2. It is we'll say, it's getting a little chilly. You're probably in late afternoon now. The sun is starting to set in the sky, but it hasn't quite reached the horizon yet. If you had to pin it, you'd say probably around 5 or 6 p.m. Off in the far, far distance, you can see over a couple of hills, tall, looming buildings, maybe indicating a small city, which you are very likely to assume is your next location of...
Terenia Town.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And beyond that, you see...
Ominous town.
You see the scenery of trees and grassy, lush fields, and you go.
Alright, great.
Oh, okay, awesome. I have a question.
Yes. Oh, wait,
Um,
sorry, hold on 1 second. Hold your question as we fade out of the intro music, sorry, and into the root music.
My question is, and it's a potentially game-breaking question. Can
Uh-oh.
we swim? Like a human person would normally be able to do?
You can swim as much as a normal human of your, upbringing can do. So since none of you
Okay.
are, surfers or anything like
Right.
that, yeah.
None of us. We didn't really
We
go
could-
water themed.
We could swim across that little pond and back, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
this route is probably a lot bigger than the,
Mhm.
Available map gives it credit for. This is more of just a visual appetizer.
Accompaniment.
So,
Sure.
But yes, there is we'll say a medium-sized lake to your right, hidden slightly by trees, so it's slightly overcast, but the soft billowing of wind brings forth the scent of the body of water slightly to your right as you enter the route.
Okay, I want to go towards the smelly water.
The water, first of all, smells like water. So,
Uh-huh.
as far as
But it's really smelly.
Well, to Lily, it would be.
Why wouldn't she enjoy the smell?
I mean, you can. It's just smelly doesn't necessarily
You can
mean
enjoy
bad
it
smelling.
if you want to.
All right. As long as we're not establishing that this is some sort of foul pond,
No,
like
no,
of unnatural scent.
no.
An unnatural pond of unnatural liquid.
Oh my god. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but bodies of water have a scent to them. It doesn't necessarily have to be the beach.
No, Lily.
No, I get
Lily
your
can
point.
smell the fucking Psyduck at the bottom of the pond.
Is Psyduck
Okay.
even in this fucking...
I don't know.
I
You
would-
tell me.
I'm actually looking it up. No, Psyduck does not exist in this region. There you go. There's a
Oh
spoiler.
my God! There's a Psyduck drowning in the bottom of the pool. It doesn't even native.
Okay.
No.
Well,
one. It's hidden.
you're heading for this lake?
Yeah, I just, want to grab a drink for myself for Nidoran, get the Spin to something. Spin just probably needs to hydrate. It's injured,
Are you sure that's safe to drink? Lily
yeah.
takes a sniff of it. Yeah, it's safe.
Okay, yeah, then yeah.
So you
Lily
guys
says so,
are
so yeah.
heading
Does
over.
disease exist in this?
Oh my god. So you guys are heading over to the lake then.
There's
Correct.
Pokerus.
Yes.
Alright. So as you all head over to the lake, the shade of the trees allows you a nice place to relax. There are various small, shadowy bodies swimming around in the water. As you approach, they skitter away and rush off, diving deeper to try and avoid whatever these strange bipedal dry organisms are.
Seth wonders if perhaps there might be something on his Pokedex that tells him about local Pokemon. Perhaps he can find out what they might expect from the route or something like that.
You can definitely try to type in information regarding Route 2 into your Pokedex app and see if it provides you with any information.
All right. He punches in Route 2 of the Central region, and just sees if he can like flip through it and get some cursory information.
Sure. So as you type in the information, you find out that Route 2 is a pretty general, unassuming route connecting two small towns together. That Route 1 is just beyond. That occasionally this place is known for having the local picnic festival of where did I put it? There we go. Terrenia Town. And that happens during the summer. Unfortunately for you guys, it is presently spring, so no picnic festival just yet. But in terms of local Pokemon, you do see that there is... Where did I put the list? There it is. You do know that the lake that you're kind of chilling out at presently has been known to be a spawning ground for Clauncher.
Clauncher.
To Google!
To Google! Clauncher. The Pokemon.
Oh!
Does the Pokedex tell us like how far we are to the city? I mean, is it the next screen over, or are we still walking ways away?
It would say that it'd be like a 2-mile walk.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
Cool.
Picking up my bag of dice just in case. There we go.
So
They're
the
made
two
of metal.
you, I'm assuming, are still kind of just chilling out beside this lake.
Yeah,
Lily's kind of looking
kicking
over
her
the water.
feet.
I would say that Nidoran is probably trying to get to a Clauncher and maybe failing.
So he's just
Like,
like
I don't think-
splashing at the water.
Yeah, I don't think Nidoran can like swim, but I think he's really trying his best.
Lotad could easily help, but hasn't really picked up that he should be helping at this point. So he's just floating around.
Upside down.
Yeah.
This place is the best.
Yeah, occasionally one of the shadowy, like, black figures in the water will start edging a little closer, but as soon as anything makes a movement, like Nidoran splashing at it or Lotad drifting by, it quickly disappears deeper into the water.
All right. Well, I don't know if I need a Clauncher, and we seem pretty well refreshed. We could go ahead and head on from there.
Well, we'd probably get there by nightfall. Do we want to challenge the gym tonight?
Well, no, the gym isn't in Terrenia Town.
Oh.
It's in Hosta City, so we're not going to get there tonight, no matter what, if we rush or we don't.
I mean, I'm up to just kind of hang out at this lake and see if any events pass us by.
Well, I think we really should. Okay, so here's how I'm playing this at the moment. I'm
Okay.
not really playing as Spinda because as far as I'm concerned, I don't own Spinda yet. I'm just taking care of it until we can heal it, and
We should
Well, you'll have
do
to let
that.
me know if you release the Spinda from the Pokeball, but...
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping it in the... Well, I took it out of the Pokeball to give it some water,
Okay. It falls into the
but...
lake.
What? Oh my god! Are you serious?
No, I saw this in the Celebi movie. It's gonna be healed down there.
No. Wrong
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's about to get healed.
No,
Okay, well, we established that I can swim, so I'm gonna go ahead after my
You're
stupid.
not gonna just call it back with the Pokeball?
Oh yeah, I could do
Okay,
that.
I should emphasize that it literally was like sitting at the edge of the lake and was gonna bend over to get a drink and kind of just tripped and fell. You could reach into the water and pull it out.
Oh, I just reach in and pull it out. And then I get it a small cup.
Okay, the Spinda totters around, taking the cup and trying to drink from it. Spills half of it over itself, but then manages to drink the rest.
Oh shit, I love it so much.
Lotad attempts to refill the cup, but misjudges the power in which it expels water, and just knocks the cup out of the hand.
All right.
Out of Spinda's hand? Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, Lotad doesn't have water gun or anything yet. So is that something that Lotad can just do innately, even if it's not by attack?
It just
It
won't be
leaks.
a strong enough force
Yeah,
to
okay,
be an
but-
attack. It'll
but
just be like a
there-
little sprinkle.
Because I was gonna say, alternatively, I could roleplay this where Lotad is the cup.
And then Spinda drank a Lotad's worth of water.
half a Lotad.
Yeah, one half Lotad's worth. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put Spinda back in the bowl before Spinda can hurt itself again.
One half Lotad's worth would be a sick butler name.
What's your name? Lotad's worth. The 0.5.
As you do.
Okay, should we keep going?
Yeah.
I would like to peer over the lake if I could, just to see if I see anything flying over the lake.
Wait, so you're like looking up, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
For dragons?
You know, yes! Yes, it's for dragon.
Jay.
You're not gonna find a fucking dragon on Route 2.
Oh,
Jay?
passes over you.
Yeah,
just wanna
Can't
look.
reach.
you realize that you've actually been dreaming this entire time. No. Roll a d20.
No, and hey!
Roll a d20.
Yeah, Jay, roll a d20.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, first roll of my heavy d20 made of metal. Aha!
Gets a 20. Well, there's Lugia.
16.
16. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As you stare up into the sky, shading your eyes with your hand, the shadow of your hand cascading over your oculars,
Yeah.
you suddenly hear a very loud splashing noise.
Oh?
And as you continue to gaze upward, you see something rocket into the sky.
Oh, what's that?
As this strange object flings itself skyward, you suddenly notice droplets of water falling down on you, small, like a minor summer rain. As the thing, whatever it is, starts blocking out the sun above you.
Jesus! Or Arceus, I guess.
And
Arceus! What is that?
the sound of a loud thwack is heard by everybody else, and as they turn to look at Kyrian, they would notice that a Magikarp, which had just jumped 50 feet out of the lake, came crashing down onto his upward turned face.
I am
Can I-
laughing hysterically and
I
not
want to
helping at all.
grab the Magikarp with my hands.
Karen, you just found your third Pokemon.
Roll a d20.
Alright, I rolled to grab. I hope I have a good grapple skill.
Make a grapple against the Magikarp.
Hey, 17. I like this dice.
Okay, yeah, you managed to lay your hands upon this Magikarp, though it wriggles about furiously.
I got it, but nope, you're getting, nope. Jump on my face, will you? Come here. No, down to the floor. Somebody give me a jelly ball!
A jelly ball?
Remember last time they were covered in
Yes.
jelly?
Do we,
Right.
do we have any donuts left even?
Well, we have the contents of donuts left, but I don't think they've kind of lost their form, their shape.
I mean, you still do have
Lily-
18 Pokeballs.
Yes, Lily hands Carrion a Pokeball.
Cool.
Well,
Well, just touch it to its face, like, get in the ball.
Smash it in there.
Roll a d20.
All right, here we go. Don't let me down now, dice.
This is stupid.
Oh, 13. That's pretty good.
13.
13. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a 50-50 shot, and you got it. As you
Yay!
tap the Pokeball to the Magikarp's face, it writhes around furiously until it just turns into a red light, gets sucked into the Pokeball, and as you patiently wait for the shuffling noise of the Pokeball to indicate that the Pokemon is struggling to break free, it just immediately makes the boom sound of being back.
Yes! I've got another one!
Holy crap!
Well, shit.
So,
I mean,
crap.
What am I gonna do with this?
That-
Congratulations, Tyrion. You've just caught your first dragon.
Well,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, if I can raise it, maybe I can throw it at people.
Oh, buddy, you could do it.
Oh,
yeah.
man. All right.
Level!
So, if you want to take these notes down, you find out that the Magikarp is male. It has the ability Swift Swim, and it's level 2.
Oh, Jesus!
Maybe
Is there
we'll find a
anything like
daycare.
throwing the Magikarp in first and swap it out for a different one?
Um,
What do I do?
Do you want to release the Magikarp?
It landed on my face. We're bonded now.
You are bonded. You can't get rid of
physically
it.
bonded.
You're its dad now.
Oh my god.
We'll talk more about you raising the Magikarp in another at another time. But for
Okay,
right
sounds
now,
good. We'll
congratulations! You got yourself a freaking Magikarp.
Yay!
Hooray.
Fun fact, I was not expecting that to happen, so good job.
Now, I have a question. Was there... the Magikarp was a prop for comedy and not a by-game encounter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure about that.
Yeah,
Alright.
Jay just managed to do the right things and get the right rolls to manage to make something funny happen and turn it into a quote-unquote success question mark.
Okay. Well, at this point, Seth, he's looking at Kyrion's little team. He's like, "Oh, I'm losing ground," and it's getting late in the day, right?
Yeah.
It's probably around like 6:30, 7 o'clock now.
6:30, 7 o'clock. Maybe the ghosts will be out.
You
Oh.
can roll for perception.
I could roll for. Well, I mean, I asked the DM if I maybe could have a look around and see if anything catches the eye. You know.
Well, looking around the lake, as you see Kyrian, I'm assuming now mopping his face dry from the residual
Yes,
magic.
with my cape. Just oh god.
You don't see anything around here. Again, there are some small dark shadows in the water, but you can safely presume that everything in there is going to be a fish of
Water.
some variety.
Yeah.
But as far if you're specifically looking for ghosts at this exact moment, you do not see any.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess I'll be on the lookout, but I'm probably done with this lake.
All right, let's move on then, because I really need to get this Spinda to a
Yeah.
doctor.
That's true.
All right, give me 1 second.
Should I
to-
take the fish on a walk?
Yeah. Let it just kind of bounce behind you.
Yeah.
This must be
Oh.
something this thing can beat.
Yeah, level 1 Magikarp.
Ah!
Right. Well, Jay, I'll give you the pleasure of knowing that your Magikarp not only knows Splash, but we'll also give him Tackle, just so that as far as
Thank you.
this format's concerned, he's not completely useless.
Yay!
I appreciate your mercy. Not the choice I would have made.
It's fine. It's fine. Just because it knows Tackle doesn't mean it's going to be able to fight anything.
I'll find a wild Charmander and I'll just throw him in a puddle next to it.
Please don't literally murder other Pokemon.
Kill Charizard.
I have to get this train rolling, or I have to buy 18 rare candy.
Anyway.
Maybe
so-
they'll evolve via love. This
No.
is anime rule.
I will kiss this fish.
I think you
will
should do it just to
proceed
test it.
pleasure myself with this fish.
Well,
Anyway.
James in the anime once evolved a Magikarp by kicking it into the ocean upon release.
Yeah, I guess
So-
it's not love. It's the opposite.
But didn't it come out in like, oh?
Anyway.
Just kick your Magikarp every morning.
So you guys are packing up, I take it, from the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pack up all of your materials and you leave the lake behind you. Ahead, there is a cliff, probably about, I'm going to say 20 feet tall, probably too tall for you to climb up unless you had some sort of equipment or other means. There's a path to the south that looks like it might cut through a section of trees if you wish to continue that way.
That sounds good. Let's go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you continue down the path. As you do, the night sky getting slightly darker, you start to see stars peek out in the sky above. You recognize all the constellations, Dialga, Arceus.
Is it cute and romantic?
Yeah.
Okay, I look at Lily a lot and don't do anything else, but I do look at her a whole bunch.
And Lily is looking inward within herself and finding peace.
God damn it.
And the night sky is fully illuminated, so you don't have to worry too much by the light of the moon. So it is definitely clear skies. The only time it gets particularly dark is if you decide to walk between any of the trees or try to get into the denser, thicker portions of foliage. But other than that, you assume it'll probably take you about another, let's say, hour before you reach the end of the route.
Anything particularly interesting in these dense wooded areas?
Could we throw a d20 over it?
Sure.
Hey, I haven't done one yet. Let me.
Yeah, let Lily
Yeah,
do
go,
it.
go, go! do it.
Lily takes an investigative sniff. Let's see. 20, you said?
Yeah, a d20.
I got an 8.
All right. Smells like nighttime.
Okay. Lily is at peace.
You smell the moon.
I can smell the darkness.
I mean, we're just kind of walking. I mean, kidding. Nobody else could roll another perception check. I think we decided that, right?
Right.
Not at this
Right.
moment. You're more than
Okay.
welcome to continue talking, conversing amongst yourself. I don't know if you guys have anything specific you want to talk about. You did.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Okay. Do you have
I'm
any
so
food with you?
hungry.
But
Well, we have the innards of the donuts, which I don't want anymore because I've been eating them all day.
I will take a donut.
You'll have to lick it off of the Pokeballs.
Do you have a
donut
spoon?
innard.
Do you have a spoon? Because then you can have the donut.
I can use my axe. Do I still have the axe? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. If it's a small, like, hand axe and not, like, a fucking battle axe.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Lily opens up her soup-containing purse and and offers you some
Scrape.
donut.
I'm gonna scrape the jelly off the Pokeball with the axe and lick it.
So you scrape it off the Pokeball with the axe and then proceed to lick it off the axe.
Well, I know the axe well better than the Pokeball.
Oh my god. Okay.
I got it.
So,
Yeah.
not to force the arm of any potential conversation, but you guys don't have anything to talk about regarding maybe the mention of a strange team or maybe
Oh, right.
Oh,
the violent man that you had just set aflame?
Okay. We've established that Rowan is a delinquent. I based her off of the delinquent Pokemon kind of trainer.
Maybe she's heard of this group.
Yeah, does she have any background knowledge? Does she know about, has she heard of Team Tetrad?
Roll a d20.
20.
Really?
Holy fuck.
Ooh.
She got 20.
She's a member.
She got 20.
Confirming.
president.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
like,
She got it.
I guess that was more along the lines of you rolled a 20, not I don't believe you.
No, it was a 20.
Okay. All right, so rolling the d20, you search your mind, trying to recall the name Team Tetrad, and at first you don't really think it sounds familiar, but you do remember seeing a poster that had been hung up in an alley once that had advertised...
I hang out in a lot of alleys.
that had advertised a... We'll say it's like a wanted poster, and it was a gentleman in a similar-looking outfit. He was pretty snazzily dressed. He had a vest on, pinstripe vest, a long white sleeve button-up shirt underneath, black slacks, but similarly, he was wearing a very garish four-colored tie. And it said underneath, for 5,000 Poke Yen, any information regarding the mysterious Team Tetrad wanted for Pokemon abuse and Pokemon smuggling.
Well, we should do that.
Oh, yeah, I guess theoretically we should report what we saw
Yeah.
to the Popo, or at least, you know, the Popo equivalent.
Does
Oh,
a Popo
Jenny.
know you?
Just-
I would prefer not to be the one to tell them. But
I'll do it.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and convey. So I've been thinking about that interaction with Senor Ugly Tie pretty much all day, and I finally realized, oh shit, in that one alley that I always hang out in, I saw that one poster. And that tie, I just remember the tie. It was important to me because it was the worst tie I'd ever seen. And I tell them everything that I remember and say, I think these guys are like actually seriously bad news. Maybe we should talk to someone about the fact that this Spinda was a victim.
Not to mention that then we wouldn't need to do any PID-UP related favors for the next toll booth we see.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. But I
want
don't want
an
to be the
army.
one to tell the cops, okay? Cops are gonna take one look at me and say, that's a fucking delinquent. She definitely killed that Spinda, even though the Spinda's not
Killed
dead.
that spin.
It's alive
of
and
you.
perfectly fine, and you brought it to the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
What is your
okay.
plan for the Spidna?
I don't know. I guess
Spinda.
it's whatever the Spinda wants, right? It's like, I don't know. I feel like it hasn't had a choice in a while. Maybe we should give it one.
I like that.
All right. Well. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good talk. Does she? So she tells us about all of that.
Yeah.
All right.
I tell you guys everything I know.
Yeah, Seth's all for it. Let's go tell
Mhm.
people about that.
Just start
Lily
screaming at
reacts
the top
in
of
a
your
very
lungs.
in-character way.
What?
Hmm?
What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm just role playing. Lily reacts in an in-character way, and and then she's done talking and she closes her mouth.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Lily.
Good role playing.
Awesome. That's so motivational.
God, classic Lily.
So as you continue to move on, you notice some weird shadows dangling, swinging, swaying from a tree just beyond, we'll say, just over Kirian's shoulder.
That's
maybe-
unusual!
Oh boy, that really is unusual. What is that thing? I point my Pokedex at it.
Sure. You point your Pokedex at the strange swaying shadows, and as you do, a pair of eyes pops open on each of the shadows. And you find what looks like...
A bomb?
No. It looks like a large group of swinging pineco on a tree.
Oh. Okay. Pineco.
They kind of look like they're just nesting there, hanging in the tree, swaying.
How does Pineco move?
Learn
Do they just
self-destruct.
Bounce. No, actually, hang
bounce
on.
everywhere?
Hang on. They might float. God damn it! I was just watching this episode. They float.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're just kind of hanging on the tree, chilling, slightly gently swaying back and forth as the night air breezes past them. Kirian probably would have felt them tickling at the back of his neck if he had gotten too close.
Hi. Good evening. Sorry to disturb your home.
And they kind of just like they don't really react to much. They're just like cocoons basically hanging in the tree.
He always looks so grumpy.
They're pretty cute, even though I'm a little freaked out by the
Yeah.
weird buggishness of their whole deal.
The
Anybody
buggishness of their
want
whole
one?
deal.
Yeah.
Lily, do you want
well, I
a
was-
pine cup?
No, but Lily holds out her hand as if she's trying to like offer a gentle touch at the pineco.
Yeah, I mean, one of the pineco, I guess the one that's closest to your hand, you find that the method by which they're dangling is a thin string of what you can assume is either silk or some other insect excrement. It dangles down a little bit further like a spider descending on its web and just gently like lands in your hand looking up at you.
Very friendly.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh.
Lily just enjoys a quiet, intimate moment with it and then releases it back to the trees.
And as if appreciating your your kindness, the pineco slowly slinks its way back up on the strand that it was hanging from, and in your hand is a strange sticky residue.
Yeah.
However,
Lily smells it.
it smells very sweet. In fact, you would recognize it as the juice of a berry. So you actually get, if I can get back down to your item page. No, not that. There we go. Text. One
It juiced in
bottle
your hand.
of berry juice.
Oh, berry juice.
Lily is very appreciative of this, and does
Sorry, go ahead.
you misspelled my favorite word. Come on.
Juicic! No! Juicic!
No, it's juicy.
Oh, god damn it, Jay.
Juicy tilde.
Very juicy.
Well, Lily appreciates this wet, sticky offering, and so she does a bow to the pineco and says thank you.
Aww. And it's
And then she actually has jars prepared for this situation. She has scraped some berry juice into a jar.
Very
We're
good.
not just gonna
It's adorable
slurp it
thing I've
off
ever
her
seen in my
hands.
life.
The Shuckles would be proud.
Rowan is just like watching this whole thing with her jaw like near the floor.
Rowan, are you okay?
over
Did you
there?
see something?
Nope.
Lily's looking
That's
behind
normal.
her, trying to figure out if there's like a scary Pokemon or something.
No, I'm totally fine and I have no reaction whatsoever. And then I turn around, like, just like, oh my god! But like inside.
To the camera.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on the DL.
Good.
Meanwhile, Seth has wandered a little bit onto the opposite side of the clearing. He's like a little bit in the trees now. He's like, come out, wherever you are. Hello. And Litwick's doing like the same thing, but with Litwick noises on his
But-
shoulder.
Litwick noises.
Just like that. Hands gonna voice Litwick for now. Perfect.
All right.
What are you looking for?
Oh my god.
Oh, you know, just general anything.
As soon as Kyrian yells, you hear like a lot of stuff just rushing and wrestling past you as if it suddenly got scared and ran away.
Oh, like for me?
Like his shouting just scared whatever was around you away.
Hey, okay, Seth, it's not a big reaction. It's kind of understated. He could probably afford to react a little more, but he just kind of tumbles backwards and like kind of looks around to see what just happened.
God, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No worries.
Oh, all right. A big mouth shut. We over here.
Oh man.
I don't know if I'm able to see what ran past me or anything.
Oh, it was a bunch of stuff, like a swarm of things just rushed past you. Like, basically, you were in the trees looking around for stuff, and Kyrian screamed, and all of the wildlife that was in your general vicinity just ran past you to get away from him.
Okay. Well, Seth comes back. He's covered in leaves. He's got something sticking out of his hair. He's good to go.
All right. So are you guys going to continue on further down the route then?
Yep, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
All right. As you continue to move on, you can see that the town is now very close. You probably be there within another 10 minutes walk. You can start to see the outline of the city proper. You also notice that there is no toll booth leading into the town, so you won't have to worry about being treated like common thugs, despite the fact that one of you is. And
Common.
okay, sorry, uncommon thugs.
Thank you.
Uncommon and unusual. And as you continue on, it is very definitely in the throes of night now. You're getting into the 8 p.m. You can start to see the lights in the houses and in the tall buildings start to flicker on, and probably gonna say just beyond the outside of town, you see the familiar red domed top of the Pokemon Center. So you're getting closer. You're almost there.
Alright, I'm making a beeline for that Poke Center.
And Seth is with her because Litwick needs some heals too.
Okay. All right. Anybody else gonna do anything?
Lily is just taking her own pace, but is going in the same direction.
Yeah, I'll be following to the Poke Center as well.
All right.
Or, I mean, unless you want more action to happen, I can pick out another location to go instead.
No, you're fine. I just
All
want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to do what they want to do before I move on. All right. So as you continue to the end of the route, you see the beginnings of the town start to come into light. Headlights hanging over your head. Let me see if I can find some more appropriate music here. Let's see.
Yeah, this is a little too jazzy for
Yeah, I should have
for
changed it a little while ago.
nighttime.
Sorry about that. Here we go. Let's try this.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, so nighttime has fallen. It's dark. The streets of the town are mostly empty. Think of like your common everyday suburb. It's not a big city. Houses neatly line the streets. Every once in a while, there's a shop displaying its goods and wares, though it's closed given the hour. And again, about a block or two into town, you recognize the common welcoming glow of the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead right for the Pokemon Center.
Oh, you want to heal up your Spidna?
Yeah. I don't know if it's looking so good.
Chat says that there is no music.
There's no music. It's probably too quiet?
Did you change your default playback device
Hang
at
on,
all?
can you
No, I
can you
haven't
scroll back
changed
up on the
anything.
mixer? Can you scroll up on the mixer on your OBS? It's not picking up at all.
Oh.
There.
Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Ryu.
There.
Alright, cool.
All right,
Problem
great.
fixed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rowan wants to go to the Pokemon Center. Does anybody else have anything they want to do instead, or are you gonna go in a group?
I want to heal my Pidove.
I mean, yeah, heal up sounds like first priority. And
Yeah.
then maybe I'll have an idea or two.
All right, cool. So as you make your way through the first few blocks of Terrenia Town, let's see here. Yeah, you know what? Hannah, roll a d20.
Okay. 13.
Okay. As you pass by one of the alleys leading to the Pokemon Center, you notice something hanging off of the side of the building. Looks like a thin piece of paper had been posted there and is kind of limply dangling over.
I go and inspect that piece of paper because it catches my eye.
Okay. As you pull the piece of paper, or as you lift the piece of paper to look on the front face of it, you recognize that it is a similar copy of the poster that you remember seeing way back when, the warning for information regarding Team Tetrad, and only this time the individual depicted in the picture is, for certain, the gentleman that you had encountered in Route 1, at the beginning of Route 1.
Oh, shit!
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the poster off of the wall and take it over to where everybody else is and just say, guys, look.
Oh, it's the dude!
We know that guy.
It's totally that dude.
It is.
We really, really, really need to tell somebody.
You want me to hold on to that since
Yeah.
you don't want to go talk to the person?
I do want you to hold that onto that for me. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Know where he was heading?
I don't actually remember which way he went.
Mm. He headed in the opposite direction of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could call back. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something on the Pokedex we could use to call. No, you know what? They would have done that in the anime. Probably the Pokemon Center has like a video call thing that we could do and call the professor and ask him if he saw anything. Maybe.
Yeah.
They
we
could have.
that.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going to the Pokemon Center with
Okay.
this, armed with this
Alright.
knowledge.
And then we'll FaceTime with Zarkova.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll FaceTime Sarkova.
Okay, so you walk up to the Pokemon Center. It's rather modest in size, and as the automatic doors swing open, you would recognize directly in front of you is the reception area. The desk is actually empty at the moment, and off to the right is the waiting room / lounge area, and there's also a cafe area to the left.
That's fun.
Okay, is there anyone manning the cafe area?
If you were to go over to the cafe area, you would see that it is still open. The light in the behind the window for the register where you would order is on. There's nobody immediately at the window, but you can tell that that the cafe is still at least open.
Okay. I'm gonna go head to the front desk and just see if there's a bell I can ring or something.
Yeah, there's a little bell that says ring for service.
Okay, ding!
And pressing it, you would immediately see a Chansey pop up from under the desk.
Oh, hello!
It
It
pops
was
up wearing
waiting.
its little, I don't know exactly what it's called. Its little, nurse's hat. And it smiles brightly, greeting you with the familiar Chansey.
Hello! And I put my Pokeballs in front of me on the thing and say, I'd like to get these guys healed up, please.
And, the Chansey lays out a tray and then takes the Pokeballs one at a time and very gently lifts them and then places it into one of the Pokeball slots and then gently lifts up another one and places it in the Pokeball slot.
I am enjoying my time with Chansey.
And picking up the tray, it gives you a very enthusiastic smile before tottering off, waddling into the back.
Wait. Oh, she's calm.
You want to actually get it?
Wait, ring the bell. Maybe another one will come up.
all right, so Seth goes up to the front. He's like, "Dang though."
And as anticipated, a second Chansey springs up from behind the counter and offers once again a very high-pitched and excited Chansey noise.
Are they just laying down back there?
Rowan dings the bell 20 more times.
And as you ding the bell the 20th time, the Chansey's hand comes to rest on top of yours. And it looks at you disapprovingly.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to know.
It must get that a lot.
So Seth hands her his Pokeball with the Litwick in it. Who else needs in on that?
I do.
Okay, come get over here, bud.
Can I just try to hand it to it with one shipment?
Yeah, you can give
We're gonna wait
all
my
of the
turn.
Pokeballs at once.
All right, have these three.
Lily's if
Doom,
she wants
doom,
to hand
doom,
hers
doom,
over as
doom.
well.
Lotad hasn't taken any damage.
Okay.
It's true.
So, taking the remaining 4 Pokeballs, the second Chansey smiles at Kyrian and Seth, gives a sidelong glance to Rowan, and then turns around and goes back through the nursing doors or the operating room doors on the other side of the counter. As that, go ahead, sorry.
Seth slaps Rowan's hand away from the bell because he saw it was coming.
No.
Inching towards.
You stop that.
A few seconds after that second Chansey leaves the room and goes into the large double doors behind the counter, the doors open back up, though you see that the light for the Pokemon, like, healing information, the operating room light is still on. But a very familiar face of Nurse Joy comes walking through the double doors and looking from Kyrian to Seth and then to Rowan. She says, I was told that there were a couple of delinquents out here.
Oh,
What did you guys want? We'll heal your Pokemon, but if you're here for any trouble, then we're gonna have to kindly ask you to leave before we call the police.
Oh boy.
no, I'm not here for any trouble. Sorry, I just wanted to see how many chances would come out if I kept ringing the bell.
We're here for the Pokemon League Challenge.
Well, this isn't a gym, so
Right.
thank you. But no, it's only the three of us here. Nurse Joy, as you know, Chan Chan and Cece are off healing your Pokemon.
Oh, their names are Chan Chan and Cece.
But you're welcome to either get something to eat or drink at the cafe, or you can rest in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I awkwardly sidle towards the cafe to get away from Nurse Joy.
What a mean nurse indeed. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to stay awake the whole night. I mean, Seth is kind of tempted to leave at this point, even though it's getting pretty dark. Because, you know, he wants to go check out the nightlife around here.
Wait, did we get our Pokemon back, or are they still being healed?
They're still being healed at the moment.
Oh,
It won't be
Okay.
much longer.
I see. Okay.
I'm just gonna go over to the cafe and get a drink.
I see. In which case, Seth actually does stop by the little television monitors on the side, and he decides to see if he can maybe call the laboratory back at home.
Okay. So you, that's what you two are doing. Kyrian and Lily, are you going to be doing other things? Or are you going to join one of them?
Yeah, I'm going to the cafe with Rowan.
Okay. And
I am sitting in a chair rubbing my chin. Trying to decide if the Pidum's gonna like me after I heal it.
Oh my god. Alright, so scene 1. Kyrian sits at a table at the Pokemon Center, rubbing his chin, furrowing his brow, deep in thought. Scene 2.
Angry bird. Floppy fish.
So we'll go over to the television, the video phone that's in the corner. Imagine like the only comparison I can think of at the moment. Well, you know, it's like payphones. There's like a couple of them sitting next to each other, and they have the little like thin walls between them, blocking the other calls from being seen or heard. You sit down at one, and we'll just assume that located within the app or whatever is Dr. Zelkova's phone number. So you're gonna go ahead and give him a ring.
Oh, that's just public, man. Sucks for him. Yeah. ring,
He's-
ring, 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 ring,
you have
ring.
his
Phone
office
call, phone
number.
call. Yeah.
So as the phone begins to ring, it feels like 5 or 6 rings go by before anything happens. And then as the phone is answered, you would notice that the only thing you can see on the monitor at the moment are 2 long green tendrils.
What? Oh, Ivysaur, is that you?
And as predicted, the tendrils slowly pull the Ivysaur up to the desk that the phone is on, and it kind of just Ivysaurs at you a few times.
Hey, buddy, is the doctor in?
And giving you a nice little smile, he, one of the tendrils swings behind him, and you hear what sounds like a... What? Why am I on the floor? Ivysaur, really? What is going on? And the doctor, jumping off of the floor, stands up, a rumpled mess, his hair kind of disheveled, his lab coat being used as a blanket. He looks up and sees that the phone is on, and goes, oh, my apologies. And quickly turning the lab coat back right side in and throwing it over his shoulders and tucking his arms into the sleeves. Tries to smooth out his shirt and straighten up his tie. And then walking over to the phone, sits down in front of it and says, Dr. Zelkova's office, how may I help you?
Hey, Doc, you okay?
Yes, sorry, you just caught me in the middle of a late night of burning the lit wick on both ends, if you know what never mind. Ignore that analogy. I was just busy tonight.
Litwick from its Pokeball shivering.
How can I help you, Seth? Yes, how can I help you today?
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering, did anybody in the office mention anything about a weird dressed weirdo other than us that went through town today?
A weird dressed weirdo?
Yeah, he's very colorful, like a bunch of colors on his tie and stuff.
A bunch of colors on his tie. You know, the only thing that bears a striking resemblance to is the uniform of Team Tetrad members.
Yeah, we think we might have met one of them on the way over here.
Oh dear. And he like freezes for a second, and then like looks down, and then looks up at you. And are you okay?
Yeah, we're all good. In fact, he had a Spinda, and he wasn't really treating it very well. And we kind of ended up taking it from him and taking it to the Pokemon Center.
Okay. Yes. Give me one brief second, and you hear like the sound of like keys typing, and then the sound of a muffled, and then whoop, a second like screen picture opens up. And in the bottom left of the corner, you see a familiar face of an Officer Jenny, who says, Dr. Zelkova, it's gotta be at least 9 p.m. Is everything okay over at the lab? Should we send over a squad car? And he says, no, sorry. One of our prospective future Pokemon champions here says that he ran into a Team Tetrad member outside of Anthertown, was it?
That's yeah, that's just right. It was on Route 1. And then he pulls out the poster that he swiped off of Rowan. Mm-hmm. He's like, it was this guy specifically. We recognized him.
And they both lean into the screen, so both of their faces like get closer to the monitor as they're looking in.
On hindsight, I probably should have just shown you this, huh?
So, taking a look at the poster, the officer leans back into her own chair and says, we'll definitely send a group out to investigate the area outside of Anthertown immediately. While that specific member doesn't bear any immediate resemblance to me, I'm not immediately familiar with that person, any member of Team Tetrad is definitely dangerous. So be careful. If you didn't upset him, did you?
Maybe a bit. We kind of have his Spinda now. We took him to the Pokemon Center because he wasn't doing so hot.
Oh, it's very likely that if you took a Pokemon from a Team Tetrad member that it didn't originally belong to them to begin with. So I would probably talk about that with Nurse Joy. As for tracking this guy down, I'll be sure to put some of my best men on the case. But, however, there is something that I will need to do, and could you do me a favor, and are you at the Pokemon Center in Hostatown?
No, it's Terrenia Town, actually.
Terrenia Town. Okay, great. You should receive something in just a few, and you get a, ba-ding on your Pokedex app. And once again, thank you for letting us know, citizen. We will make sure that the Team Tetrad member is located and arrested immediately. And the small Officer Jenny box closes, leaving just the Dr. Zelkova box.
Oh, wait. I wanted to ask what she thinks we should do with the little guy.
Oh, the Spinda, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you should probably talk to Nurse Joy about that. I'm sure she'd be able to give you some information. by the way, I completely forgot. It slipped my mind, and I'm glad that you called. There's an update to the Pokedex app that I want to send you, and you hear a second badoop, but everybody would actually hear this badoop on their phone, and you would see that there's an update required to the Pokedex app. And
God damn it.
Goddamn updates!
well, you wouldn't have gotten very far without that on your journey. I do apologize. I'd forgotten to upgrade a recent feature into it, but anyway, yes. So discuss your problems with the nurse, Joy, and I do believe that Officer Jenny had sent you something. Anyway, I was in the middle of sleeping. Was there anything else you needed? I only usually get about 3 or 4 hours a night, and I would dearly like to get back to that.
No, go ahead. Go get some sleep.
Thank you. And he walks away very tiredly from the phone without even turning it off.
Good night. Boop. All right. So I guess Seth is like, man, what did she send me? And then like he opens up his little Pokedex. He's like, boop, 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 boop. Oh, right. It's on his phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
opening
looks
up
at
your Pokedex app, you would see not only have you gotten the update, which begins immediately and will probably take some time to complete, but your account has been deposited, or has had 5,000 Poke Yen deposited into it.
Whoa!
that. Wow. Yo, guys, we're rich. Nice.
Wait, what?
This is good because Rowan is in line getting a drink at the cafe and just now realized she doesn't have any money.
Well, God willing, with this app, that I can fix that. Badoop? Badoop?
Well, it should be noted that the app is synced up with your trainer card, which will also effectively work as a credit card. So,
Okay.
How much do we have on us then?
you
We now
collectively
5,000.
have 5,000 Poke Yen.
right,
That's
cool.
shared between all of us.
That's correct.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Works for me then. Great. Well, that's good.
Okay, I'm getting a Pokemon themed drink. An appropriately themed
From Starling Box.
beverage from
Starly Buck.
Give me a moo milk!
I get him a Moo Moo milk.
All right. Great.
And then I look at Lily and I ask her what she wants. Lily, what do you want?
I can order for myself, thank you.
Jesus. All right.
Rowan just like putting her head down. Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So as you guys are waiting in line, and ordering your drinks or what have you, you also hear the Chanseys come up to the desk and indicate that your Pokemon are healed. And back over at the cafe, as you guys get your drinks and sit down at one of the little tables nearby, did you want to discuss anything?
Yeah, hang on.
Yes,
Before this scene happens,
Okay.
a courtesy question. Am I allowed to, can I will something into existence for the sake of the scene working? Like, can I say that there's a plumber at the cafe if I needed that for something that I had in mind?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right.
So if you want to say, hey, can there be a plumber, nearby? My response is, sure.
Okay. Well, all right. So Lily goes up to the counter and orders 2 black coffees and an empty cup.
Okay. You're provided said objects.
All right, and then she goes and has a seat down next to Rowan.
Did she get Rowan a coffee on top of her first drink?
Why did you get 2 black coffees in an empty cup, Lily?
It's for something later. Rowan, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure, whatever. And she's all of a sudden so anxious she could die.
Have you ever had a thought in your head that
No.
you wanted to blurt out to everyone,
Yes.
but you just weren't sure if you could say it out loud because you were afraid of how other people would react?
Oh my god. Lily just turns away for a moment. Just like, calm down. Calm. Poker face. Turns back. Yeah.
I think we should have a policy of absolute honesty between us.
Yes, I agree. So much.
I agree so much right now.
Because I saw something when I was in Zarkova's lab.
What did you see?
Well, I can't remember the character's name. What's the
Craig.
assistant name? Craig.
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 When
Fucking Craig!
Craig dropped his paperwork, I saw what he was researching into, and it seemed to be some sort of statement of legendary Pokemon that we don't even know about in this region.
Oh? What kind of Pokemon? Like a one of those Arceus sort of things, or what?
You know, like one of
Something-
them there Arceuses.
Is it like Jesus, like Poke Jesus?
As far as I can tell, it's Pokejesus, but I mean, I didn't have a lot of time to look at the papers. I
Might
didn't
be
let him know that
Pokebuddha,
I saw
not
it.
sure.
I didn't let him know that I saw it, but
I-
I'm not sure he would want that information getting out.
I wonder if that's something that we could catch. Oh man, that would mean that we would totally fucking kill it in the final tournament, right?
So
If we could catch something like that.
So who would get to keep it?
Oh, hi, you're here.
You're not. Seth, that
It's like Seth,
Oh, yeah.
just like rises out from under the table.
Oh,
Like,
hey
Yeah, you would-
guys.
Yeah, you two are adorable, just want to say. But who would keep it? He rises up from between them, like under the table.
He's in between them now.
and Lily realizes that if Seth overheard, that other people might be overhearing, and she gets nervous about continuing the conversation.
I let's just oh look, our Pokemon are done.
Yeah,
Let's go get those.
Hey, Litwick. How you doing, buddy?
I go ahead and I get Spinda, and then I let Spinda out of its ball, and can I ring for Nurse Joy to come back?
Yeah, so...
I ring until Nurse Joy comes out.
So
You
you
punk.
continue ringing,
What? I'm in character.
and
Leave
you
me
can
alone.
see that the... one of the Chanseys, which was waiting by, like, at the other side of the counter, just slowly picks up a telephone. And the Nurse Joy, like, walks up to it and, like, shushes it down and, like, waves, and it puts the telephone down.
I'm almost getting us arrested.
Okay.
The Nurse Joy walks up to the desk and, like, kind of looking at you, like, trying to keep a polite face, but growing concern that you might actually be trying to pull a prank this time, is like, yes, your Pokemon are healed. Was everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great. So this Spinda, is there like, do you have a way of like tracking the original owner of a Pokeball?
Wow.
Or, like,
Why would you ask that?
I don't know, okay, so this Spinda, like we rescued it, I think, and she just goes on this long, rambling, very, very confused way of explaining to this Nurse Joy exactly what happened to the Spinda.
And the Nurse Joy kind of just blinks and looks at you and says, well, yes, all Pokeballs are encoded with the data of their original owner's ID number and any sort of trades or handoffs that may have occurred. Sorry, I'm having a very hard time. I'm gonna be fully honest with you. I can't tell how sincere you're being right now. So you just tell me, should I call the cops or are you telling the truth?
We already called the cops on this for this purpose. Why is everybody always trying to fucking call the cops on me? I mean, I know I look like this, but Jesus Christ.
Ma'am, you're
Doctor's
causing a
a-
scene!
Dr. Zolkova told us to ask you what we should do with him.
Okay. And so, taking the Pokeball...
Rowan shuts up and is fuming behind Seth right now. She's just like, fine, I won't talk. I won't talk to anyone. That's fine.
Taking the Pokeball, she puts it into a machine that looks like a transporter, But all of the data for the Pokemon comes up, and she looks over it and seems somewhat concerned. Looking at it, she can see that... Well, I guess she could just tell you. Looking at it here, it says that the trainer that this Spinda belongs to actually lives here in town. And in fact, it hasn't been healed in what looks like months.
Ooh.
Holy shit. Okay. Can you tell us where to find this person so we can get this Spinda back to its owner?
Well, I know we may have had a bit of an unusual and maybe not fully pleasant interaction, but I'll hold on to the Spinda. The owner will be alerted to come and pick them up here. I'm sure they'll feel much more comfortable picking the Pokemon up from me anyway. No offense.
Wait a second. I don't know how this Spinda got in possession of Team Tetrad. I don't know what happened to it. This person could be anybody. They could be a part of Team Tetrad, and you're just going to hand this Spinda over to them without asking any questions?
Well, if it was a member of Team Tetrad, they wouldn't have registered their Pokemon ID. They would have illegally gotten one. So, the fact alone that their information is here in the system, and the fact that the Pokemon's been healed at the center, leads me to believe that it's someone that is using their license legally.
Okay, well, I still don't trust it. This is me. This is out of character. I still don't trust it. I want to see who this person is that comes and picks up the Spinda.
Okay.
I didn't say that out loud. I'm just saying that to, my co-players. I don't know. That's my intention here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that being said, Nurse Joy takes the Pokeball out of the little, transportation looking device and takes it into the back to store it for safekeeping for later. And coming back to you, she says, well, I do appreciate that a lot of you have done such a kind deed, and as such, you are more than welcome to stay here for the evening, given that at this point it's probably going on 11 o'clock. Was there anything else that I could help you with before I switch shifts for the evening?
With another Chansey. Third Chansey.
Rowan keeps her mouth shut.
What?
Rowan is keeping her mouth shut because she is not doing well tonight.
All right, so taking silence as acquiescence, she just kind of smiles and bows and says thank you, and then turns around to leave. And then as soon as she turns around and goes through the door, the Chansey that had been sternly glancing at you this entire time pops back up, just gazing over the countertop.
All right, cool.
The Chanseys are starting to freak Rowan out a little bit.
Well, it's just the one. It's just, we'll say it's Cece that has a problem with you. Chan Chan, on the other hand, is going about her business cleaning.
Man, fuck Cece.
Well, well, Seth kind of wants to go back out, have a look around town, see if there's anything going on,
I'll go with you. I like roaming the streets.
Wasn't your plan to hang out here until someone picked up the Spinda?
I thought that wasn't happening until tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you weren't told when it was going to happen.
Oh, then I guess I'm waiting here. And I sit down in the waiting area, pissed off, and just sit and I stare at the floor.
Wow. Okay. Glad that Hannah's
angry.
Too.
I'm angry. Ow, I hurt myself.
Yeah.
So angry you hurt yourself.
Rowan also hurts herself.
Oh.
Because she's angry.
You thinking too?
Yeah. I'm thinking too.
I'm trying to think if a Pidove can carry a Magikarp.
I just
Drop 'em.
look at Carrion like, okay. And I go back to my brooding. So now we're just both sitting there brooding.
Yep.
Right. Outside the Pokemon Center, this is what I'm willing into existence. A homeless man who was outside the Pokemon Center, who Lily saw on the way to the coffee shop. Lily goes over and drops one black coffee and a cup filled up with all the remaining donut juice.
Aww.
And then goes back inside the Pokemon Center to hang out with the others who are apparently going to spend the night here.
Seth does want to do that, but I do want to take a cursory glance around town to see if anything jumps out at me.
All right.
If that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. As
All right.
you step out into the streets of the town, you are basically strolling along the sidewalk of a fairly standard everyday suburb. There's, again, a few stores littered around, but again, all closed given that it's 11 o'clock. A police car drives by, and somebody kind of looks out the window at you as if they're trying to determine whether or not you're old enough to be out on the streets this late at night, but then not really giving much of a care, drives off, leaving you behind. And as you continue along, you think you hear something.
Oh, with that, Litwick. And Litwick's like, oh. All right, perception?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll d20.
Okay. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. That is a 12.
All right. So, rolling the 12. Okay, you feel like you hear some sort of weird scratching, scraping noise.
Ooh.
Almost like
That's
something
fun.
is very gently dragging along the pavement. You can't exactly tell how far away it is, but you think it might be, gonna say, like at the end of the block and around the corner.
All right. Well, instincts have never failed me yet, so let's try that out. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try and follow my nose.
All right, so you're just gonna walk like right around the corner?
Oh yeah, pretty much. No fear.
All right, so walking right around the corner, you swear that you see some small, very dark, overshadowed figure, almost like a tiny lump, dragging itself along the ground. And as soon as you crest over and notice it, it strangely begins to bubble and lurch and then zips off into an alleyway between two houses.
Seth tries to pull out his Pokedex, but it's not quite quick enough to get him. So he follows behind. He has to he skids to a stop at the entrance to the alleyway and tries to aim into the dark and see if he can see where it's at or if he can find out what it is.
Mm-hmm. And as you aim into the dark, the Pokedex does that little thing where there's like a scanning image on the screen as if it's looking around trying to find something, but it can't quite detect whatever it is that you're trying to pick up. But as you continue staring down this hall, you swear you still see something moving in there, and the scraping noise continues, growing slightly fainter as if whatever it is trying to get away, and occasionally you hear like a thump or a bang sound.
Well, going forward with, Seth doesn't feel fear. He's gonna follow right after this thing. He's gonna be like, hey, wait, come back, buddy. Litwick! And then, he has ability Flash Fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I maybe get him to just, make at least a good light for me? He's a candle. I'm sure he's pretty good at this.
Can this candle make light? It sure can.
Can this candle make it so I can see things real quick?
Yeah, so, just for flavor, I'm gonna say that, Litwick tries really hard and focuses and causes, a bunch of little will-o'-the-wisp type lights to appear.
Neat.
And they kind of, hover around and maybe, snake their way down the alley and lighting things up. And as it does so, you see what looks like a large, glaring set of eyes off the light of Litwick's flame reflecting off of it and shining and sparkling as it does so. And as the light enters the eyesight of this creature, it stands up. You can now see the shadowy outline of this thing in the alley, taking up the entire width of the, I'm gonna say, 3 to 4 foot wide alley. The eyes, once it reaches the crest of its height, standing at, let me actually look this up so I don't give you a absurd
Did I just find a
height.
fucking muck? Did I just find a muck?
Standing at the imposing height of 6 foot 11 inches,
What?
staring down at you. And you just hear poof, poof,
Oof.
scrape, scrape. As now, having been chased into this alley, the glaring bright blue eyes still being highlighted by the flames, your eyes incapable of perceiving the actual shape of the figure given the glinting light and darkness mixing before you in this alley. Louder scraping as the figure slowly advances on you.
Pokedex? Pokedex? The fuck is that?
Does Seth say fuck?
Seth would never say fuck.
Let Seth say fuck.
Oh, come on! And he like slaps it. He's like,
Okay.
come on!
And as you slap it a few times, the figure scraping forward again, now probably no more than, or no fewer than 2 yards away, says, the Pokemon is, and then before it can spit out the word, the loud reverberating roar of Aggron shakes the alley around you.
Aggron?
Aggron.
Aggron.
That's
Aggron!
huge ass Pokemon.
6 foot 11,
Holy shit.
actually.
Jesus, that's like a fucking.
And as it says so, it uses what you can only assume is either some electric or fire move, and light flashes, flickering almost like lightning in the alley, nearly enough to blind you, and you can, for certain, make out the shape of a huge, imposing Aggron looming over you,
Oh my god.
now
It's
only
huge.
5 feet away.
Gonna just be
Oh.
honest here. I don't think, I'm not even here right now, but I don't think you can beat this in a battle.
It is. Is it just steel? It's steel,
It's steel and rock.
How's rock feel about fire? I forget.
It
doesn't
evolves
like
at level 42 to Aggron, so it's at least level 42.
Oh boy.
You are not
Well,
the
in
Oh, wow,
Fall Chain
Pokemon.
World, it evolves whenever Fall Chain wants it to evolve.
Okay,
So
that's
this could be a
true.
level 2 Aggron.
It could be a level 2
Well,
Aggron.
Let's go!
Seems unlikely.
Can I get this really relaxing tune?
Yeah, I was just
Aggron
thinking the same
menaces
thing.
me.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, I can't. I'm not there. Damn it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's see.
That's
All
really
right,
My-
Litwick,
my-
I think run and gun, and he he starts like backing away, and he tells Litwick to use all he has is Ember. That's really gonna be all he's got. Yeah. No, you know what? Actually, let's play the long game on this guy. He's gonna use Smog first.
All right, so you're using Smog. Go ahead and roll the d20.
Okay. All right. So, bump it up, it up, it up. Litwick is just tries to fill pretty much that entire alleyway with his. Oh my fucking god! What's it say, Hannah?
That is a nat 20.
That's nat 20.
Okay. As soon as the smog fills up the alleyway, you you hear the Aggron coughing and hacking, and you peer, kind of like squinting your eyes for a second through the cloudy mist, because
The Aggron
something
has asthma.
seems unusual. Roll another d20.
I get it. Fucking, I get it. Oh, god damn it. I'm still gonna go after it.
Oh.
Roll another d20. That's a 4.
Oh.
That's a 4.
No, no. It can't be the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, so with that 4, you think you see something weird going on in the smog, but as soon as you manage to get a glimpse at it, the Aggron screeches again and causes the smog to dissipate, and your Litwick's defense goes down. You're now still staring at the huge, imposing visage of an Aggron, taking another tentative, slow step towards you.
This is some good music.
Okay, with that, Seth gets another idea. He says, "You can't catch what you can't hit, buddy!" And fucking Litwick does the same trick that he tried to pull on the Tetrad member. He goes underground and tries to light his metaphorical shoes on fire. Metaphorical.
Is the Aggron wearing shoes?
No. But
Okay.
I'm assuming, are you going to actually try to make an attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's the attack.
Okay.
That's how it uses Ember.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll the d20.
Okay. Here we
Choice to
go.
make people's
Here we
shoes
go.
on fire.
Don't fuck it up. It's a 12.
Okay,
Cool.
good. You hit it. Roll a d... Ooh, let me just make sure I've got the right number here. I think it's a d4, but let me just double check to make sure. Yeah, roll a d4.
Okay. D4. That's this one. Yeah. Where'd you go? It's a 4.
All right, great. So you notice that the Aggron gets hit with the Ember attack, but unusually does not seem to react how you would expect. It seems to continue lurching forward, even though the scraping noise grows louder. The Aggron takes 4 damage, and roll a... Oops, you're not supposed to see that one.
I didn't see it. No
roll a
worries.
D10.
I didn't see it.
D10. That's this one. Let's go, son. It's a fucking 7.
Okay. The Aggron once again glaring down at you, and now glaring down at Litwick, or trying to lift its feet to look down at the Litwick. In doing so, kind of shuffles in an unnatural way and glares down at the Pokemon beneath its feet. And
Well.
it...
Oh, boy.
Where'd it go? Its defense goes down another stage. So now you have -2 defense stages.
Litwick's kind of like looking up through the floor, like, "Gulp," but like it tries to turn up the heat just a little bit more because it's working the first time and he still hasn't hit him.
All right, so go ahead and roll again. D20.
Which one am I? D10?
D20. Sorry.
D20. Yeah. Okay. But yep, that is 18.
Okay, cool.
Fuck,
so that's a
fucking.
hit.
This is going well.
Roll a D4.
D4. All right. But dip. That is 1.
A 1. Okay, and roll a D10.
D10. That's gonna be a 5. Well, actually, hang on. That's not a D10. I'm sorry. Ba-doop, ba-doop. Where the fuck's my 10? Where the fuck is my 10?
It's that
Cute
one
song.
right there.
Suddenly concerned.
This one?
Yeah.
That's an 8.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait, here we go. Hey! Now it's a 9. Hooray.
All right, and so... All right, so the Aggron suddenly lurches back, screaming, Aggron! Grabbing onto the wall at the side of the alley and stumbling back. The loud screeching noise of metal on stone echoing
my
through
God.
the alley. Roll another
Hopefully nobody's
d20
trying
really
to
quickly.
sleep. A D20?
Yeah.
Okay. D20, here we go. That is a 14.
All right. So the sound of the Aggron's claws, which it was using to grasp onto the wall as it stumbles backwards, you look in that direction because the sound of the scraping draws your eyes that way. And you notice that even though this massive hulking Pokemon's weight was thrust backwards and it was scratching the walls to keep itself balanced, the claw marks on the wall aren't there. Almost as if that had no effect to begin with.
Okay. So, feeling a little bit more confident, I guess Seth tries to go back in and, like, try to see if he still can see this thing?
Alright, yeah, it's still there, but
Uh-huh.
it seems to be smaller now somehow, almost as if the once nearly 7 foot tall Agron is now only standing at like 4'10".
Okay. Does it look like maybe he's having a rough go of it, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like actually his HP is at about 50%.
Okay, well then, I'm gonna hit him with one more safe smog, and calling Litwick back to my side, and just telling him to just get a good cloud going up over in that corner.
All right, roll a d20.
All right, here we go. That's a 15.
All right, so go ahead and roll a d4.
D4, that's this one. It's a 3.
All right. And go ahead and roll a d6.
D6. 1.
Ew.
All right. And one last roll. Sorry, roll another d20.
D20, let's go! 2.
All right. So, as your Litwick fills up the alleyway with the smoke, the Agron just collapses to the ground. Its HP is at about 20%, and it's lying on the ground at this point, clawing its way at you, still trying to menacingly stare you down, letting out another, well, I guess not letting out, but glaring angrily at you through the cloud, its bright, glowing blue eyes staring deep through the thick smog, and causing your Litwick's defense to go down by a 3rd stage.
Agron not upset, just disappointed.
Seth just kind of walks on up to it, and he kind of like looks at it. He says, "You can't use anything but screech, can you?"
And the Agron just continues to try to lurch out and try to bite you.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
And as it does, its massive steel maw clamps down over your head.
Whoa.
Oh!
Whoa, wow.
But you don't
Okay.
feel anything.
First character is dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
But you don't feel anything.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Seth freaks for a half second until he realizes the situation, and he's probably had enough of this. So he takes a Pokeball and tries to push it right up into Agron's gut.
All right. Roll a d20.
All right, here we go. That's a fucking 1.
Ow!
All right. So as soon as you tap the Agron with the Pokeball, it goes into the Pokeball, it waddles once, and then bursts open, and you notice that the Agron pops free, but now it looks like a really small, almost, I'm gonna say only about 2 foot tall version of the Agron.
Agron, I'll get you. Yeah.
Second burst, same as the first. Let's go. Try again with that Pokeball, except I'm throwing it this time because I'm not getting bit again.
Go ahead.
All right, 3 to 1. Here we go. That's a 20.
Okay.
Holy shit!
So you hit the very strangely small Agron with the Pokeball, and it zip goes right in. And in fact, let me actually really quickly subtract 2 Pokeballs there. And
Yeah, I used to.
Now, in fiction, they were all in Lily's backpack, so we're gonna have to retcon something for you to have had those Pokeballs.
Yeah, I mean, you guys share an inventory, whatever. Just say he, like, scooped a few out of the bag before leaving or whatever.
Alright, don't touch my berry
mechanics.
juice.
Thanks, Dungeon Master. Thank you.
It's fine.
Ooh, benevolent.
Lily looks at her bag and Pokeballs are just, like, vanishing. Like, what?
Voip. She's like, oh, he must be doing well.
But yeah, as you throw the Pokeball the second time, it snaps into the Pokeball, and again, almost immediately this time, goes bong, as in you've caught it.
Seth is so excited. He hasn't fully figured it out just yet. So he takes the Pokeball and he is running with Litwick back to the Pokemon Center. And he opens the door. He's like, guys, I just caught an Agron.
What?
You caught an Agron?
Yeah, it
A
was
huge,
Where?
hulking, 7-foot-tall steel monstrosity?
more like 6 and then shrinking, but still an Agron.
Shrinking.
I'm sorry, what?
Say that again?
You know, that part I actually wasn't sure about, but come on out, buddy! And then, like, you know, the classic Pokeball sound effect, and, like, you know.
Tyrion leans
light-
back in his chair like, whoa.
Yeah.
Bagron!
You release the Aggron, which at first does come out and stand at its massive, over 6 foot tall height, looming over everybody, letting out one loud, bellowing cry before turning into a very tiny, minuscule version of itself.
Oh.
See,
Why is it small?
do Agrons do
Why
that?
does it do that?
I didn't think they did that, but I did catch it, and I thought it was cool, and, you know, like, hi, buddy!
Is it using a minimize? I'm like going up to it and trying to figure out its shit.
And
Agrons don't know any moves that do that.
Mhm.
yeah, and as you try to like walk up to it and touch it, it hisses at you. And the sound is almost like a cat or something? Maybe? You're not sure? But it definitely don't sound like no Aggron.
Well, hi, Agron. I'm Seth. It's nice to meet you, buddy. And, like, he goes for the puffin feed.
Seth, this is not an Agron.
Well, until proven otherwise, that's why I'm calling it.
And looking at the food, the Aggron's eyes get much bigger, and its mouth starts to drool, and it turns around to try to eat it, but it falls over, hacking out some more of the smog that it had been breathed in, courtesy of somebody's candle.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Oh.
Chansey. Hey, I know it's late, but maybe one or two more with. Actually, Litwick did not get hit, I don't think.
No, it
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
He got the
maybe-
TP!
So,
Can you heal one more?
and the Chansey walks up to you, looking at the... Actually, let me see how this one works. Okay, that'll be fine for now. The Chansey walks up to you, looking at the Pokemon, and it kind of, like, raises its eyebrow, and then looks at you, and then, like, does that thing where it, like, moves its hand in a horizontal line over the Aggron's head, like it's wondering why it's only 2 feet tall.
Seth just shrugs at it because he thinks that we're doing sign language now.
And the Chansey, for a split second, looks over to the desk, and the Nurse Joy looks over, is confused. She, like, cries over... What?
What?
What'd you say?
Oh, so I thought when she was gonna go,
No. She cries over and says, Chansey, use Detect. And the Chansey, turning around, picks up the tiny Aggron and just starts vigorously shaking it.
Seth watches on curiously because this is clearly how it's supposed to be done.
And as the Aggron is vigorously shook, it begins to look like it's melting and taking weird bubbling shapes until a pretty loud sound is heard. And as it stops shaking the weird blob thing...
Damn it! I knew it, but I'm still angry.
Yeah.
I was a Zora!
I wanted it!
That is
I
I
wanted
know
it!
it was!
It's a dark type. It's
That's
Rowan's favorite.
so
I'm
fucking
pissed.
exciting.
Rowan is so mad. Rowan's so mad.
Yes,
That's so
Zorua remains in the Chansey's hands, and the Zorua, all dizzy-eyed and confused, kind of just limply leans back in its arms.
Seth claps his hands to his face, and he can't speak. Things are so much even better now.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
Rowan is fuming over the fact that Seth got Azora and she didn't. She is fuming.
And the Chansey takes the Zorua, starts to walk back to the reception desk with it, but then stops, turns around and walks up to you and politely asks for the Pokeball.
Oh yeah, here you go.
So
It takes him a moment, but he does hand it off.
So he puts, or she puts the Zorua back in the Pokeball and smiles. Chansey's off back to the healing area, the hospital area, whatever you want to call it, the emergency room, and goes back to healing that one Pokemon.
Well,
Yay! Congratulations!
yay!
So,
Seth, Seth
Go ahead, sorry.
Seth then falls into one of the little couches and falls asleep pretty much right away.
He's tuckered himself out.
He is so sleepy.
But yes, the Zorua will be healed probably, well, I'm assuming if you're going to sleep by the time you wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might want to go for a walk.
Like I said, Pokemon will show up. Somebody had the opportunity to catch a Pineco, nobody wanted it. I kind of just have a list of Pokemon that are in the region and what environs they will show up in. And whenever I think a Pokemon should show up, I roll a die. And Ark just so happened to land on the Zorua roll for that one. Yeah.
Really? I just had that good of a roll?
Yeah.
I'm really sad. I'm so sad.
Damn!
I'm so.
Yeah, that is really cool.
So sad.
So
Very cool.
jealous right now.
Well, yeah, because, it would be way too easy for me to be like, and yeah, of course Seth finds a ghost Pokemon, that he's just gonna keep finding ghost Pokemon. How convenient is that?
Forever.
Because he loves them!
Though there was a ghost Pokemon on that list, by the way, and so there was a fair shot at you getting one, but
Man,
surprise.
I'm gonna catch the ghost Pokemon. Fuck you, Seth.
And our first in-party trade.
Well, you guys do what you want. The point is that Ark was lucky and got the Zorua roll. There was also a Venipede on that list, so he might have just ran into another bug. So
Did you try to scare me out of trying on that Pokemon?
that was what was happening. If you ran away, you would have gotten nothing. But the fact that you managed to stick around and feel things out, you were lucky and managed to. It was basically a hard chance that you would have actually walked away with this thing, but you managed to do so. So congratulations.
Cool. Hooray! Whew. Well, I had my big scene for the stream.
I got a fish!
You did.
You did. That you did.
Yeah, let's weigh the differences between the Pokemon that were caught so far today. A Magikarp.
Mine's
and
a slow roller! A really, 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 really...
Okay. Anyway, is there anything else that anyone wants to do before we basically transition into the next day?
I want to look at Chizora.
No.
No? Okay.
Rowan just stays up. She doesn't really sleep much. She tries to get a few winks, but she's really worried about the Spinda still. And now she's even more worried because the Spinda is no longer with her and she cannot protect it.
Okay. So
And
Lily,
a complete opposite of the ball of anxiety that is Rowan, Lily is completely calm and just asleep in a chair next to her.
all right. So
Next to her, though.
So the next day, you hear the familiar intonations of an alarm clock crying out the, I don't know, what's a funny bird Pokemon sound? Let's just say it's Wingle. You just hear the sound of a Wingle cry, indicating that it's 8 a.m. and whatever order you want to wake up in, we'll go through that in a second, you will be able to see the light of the sun shining in through the windows of the Pokemon Center. In fact,
Cool.
you'll also notice that the Pokemon Center, as you start to wake up, is a bit more busy. The section where you guys were sleeping was kind of sectioned off. There were a few couches that were pulled out into beds, and one of those medical curtains, or not curtains, walls, partitions was drawn out to give you guys some privacy. But as the morning occurs, you can hear some. If you start to wake up, you'll be able to hear the sounds of some shuffling, and Lily probably would be able to make out the smell of breakfast starting.
Oh, they
No,
make
she's
food
got a
for
bit
us
of a
here?
cold.
Oh, okay.
No, she smells the breakfast and starts her day.
All right.
Rowan's been up. She's ready. She is pacing.
Did she
Seth?
sleep last night?
No.
Oh my god.
Barely.
I mean, she like caught like maybe an hour or two.
Okay.
Also,
sleepy.
Seth would find that the Pokeball containing his Zorua would have been placed like in his sleeping lap or whatever.
Oh, a little weird, but okay, thank you.
A little weird.
So at this point, Seth, he's getting the sleep out of his eyes. I guess he's going with Lily to go check out what this breakfast is, and he's thinking, oh man, time to find out what Zoro is eat. Yeah.
Oh, right. I should let you know that the Zorua that you found is male. That it
Okay.
has the ability Illusion, which is what it was using to try to
Wow.
fucking scare you away. And let me scroll down here. It is level 5, which means it has Scratch, Leer, and Pursuit.
Okay. I may ask you to repeat some of that.
Okay.
Slash, Leer, Pursuit. My pen's being very unkind to me. Pursuit. You said it had the ability.
Illusion.
What was it? Illusion.
Illusion.
All right. Quick question about illusion. How fucking OP am I allowed to go with that? Like, can I pretend? Like, can I have my Zorua pretend to be like people?
Yeah, you can have it transform into anything it's seen before.
Scratch, not slash.
Scratch. Okay. And Leer. That's a pretty good list. Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm gonna pull out my Zoro and see if it likes anything from the breakfast table.
Sure. So we'll go with Lily and Seth are going over to the breakfast area. Rowan, are you heading over there too?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you don't have to.
Oh no, I'm going. I'm probably not going. Rowan's not going to eat, but Nidoran will for sure.
Okay. And Jay or Kyrian?
The front door of the Pokemon Center opens.
It does?
Okay.
Yep. I didn't find one!
Oh my god. All right. So, anyway, over at the cafe area, the scent of fresh-made waffles ushers in from behind the window, as well as the scent of freshly percolated coffee and newly squeezed orange juice.
Orange.
Okay. Yeah,
You're more than
I'm
welcome to
getting.
get food and go sit down if you want or whatever.
Yep, I'm doing that. I'm getting a big old plate of pretty much everything.
I'm getting another cup of moo milk.
Okay, sure. They also have milk.
Yeah!
Whatever.
Nidoran sniffs at the waffles, and Rowan looks down and is like, "What? You want a waffle? You don't want like Pokemon food? You want a waffle?" Nidoran's like, Nidoran. She's like, "All right," and she makes Nidoran his own waffle
For him to enjoy.
for him to enjoy. He deserves it. He's been a good boy.
All right, that is adorable. All right. So go ahead. Sorry.
Zoro has taken a loving to bacon. Zora's way into bacon. It like has one bite and then it like snaps its head up to Seth, and Seth just nods like right.
Right?
And,
Isn't that good?
and Zora is like yeah. He goes back to eating.
Oh.
Zora regretting not being caught forever ago because now it gets bacon.
Bacon is great. Every Pokemon should have bacon.
Anything from the other two?
Except Tepig, not Tepig.
No, I mean, I'm not fucking Gimli. I'm not going to be doing something funny every time the camera pans over.
All
Just
right.
eat
I'm
some
holding a
breakfast.
magic carpet in my hands and I'm trying to feed it.
Okay.
What do you eat?
Some of the other people in the Pokemon Center that are also there for breakfast are like cocking an eyebrow at this weirdo shoving fistfuls of waffle into his Magikarp's mouth.
Level, damn you!
He's like, why won't you get stronger?
Ain't be nothing but puffins. Magikarp cry. Anyway, as you guys continue eating your breakfast, the Pokemon door opens, or the Pokemon Center door opens once again, and somebody rushes into the room, running right up to the reception desk in a frantic fit. Not necessarily angry or making a lot of noise or anything, but they definitely look very concerned. The Nurse Joy addresses the person and then walks back into the emergency room portion of the building. The person stands at the desk, still seeming like nervous or anxious.
Rowan doesn't know for sure that this is the owner of the Spinda, but she's got a pretty strong indication, so she just sort of begins making her way non-aggressively. She keeps repeating to herself, like, don't be a delinquent. Don't be a delinquent.
You can't hide what's inside.
And just goes and sidles up next to that guy, or whoever they are.
It is a guy. As you walk a little bit closer, you'll notice that it is a gentleman with pretty unassuming looks, aside from the fact that he's like sort of anxious and like looking around impatiently. Scott,
does he look?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. Does he look like maybe this is just his day job, and by nighttime he wears a stupid tie with?
Yeah. Does he look? Do I think he's suspicious?
No, he doesn't look familiar to you at all. He looks like he's probably just an average Joe. He's wearing a fucking sweater vest, khaki slacks.
Rowan is put at ease by the sweater vest. The presence of a sweater vest eases her heart. And she approaches him and says, hi there, sorry. Weird question. Are you the owner of a Spinda?
And this gentleman turns to you and looks at you. He gives you a quick once-over, and then he immediately starts scowling. And he says, yes, it's mine, and you can't have it. It's already been taken from me once, and he's mine. You can't have it.
Whoa,
and he almost seems like he's on the verge of tears.
Whoa, my dude. I'm not trying to take it away from you. I found it. Well, I actually rescued it. I rescued your Pokemon for you.
And this guy, again, he looks you up and down once again, and he doesn't seem to believe you.
Oh, this is gonna be the whole fucking series, isn't it?
God damn it.
Well, okay. Let's take it from this guy's perspective. His Spinda was kidnapped months ago. He's just gotten word that it's turned back up. And the very next person that approaches him after Nurse Joy is another person that looks like a delinquent from a gang. So, how do you think he's gonna act?
Well, listen. You can ask Nurse Joy. Like, the Nurse Joy, like, knows the whole story. And you can even call the police, which I called on your behalf. Listen, and I beckon over Seth. And I'm saying, Seth, come over here.
What?
Show him the picture. Show him the picture.
Oh, and he pulls out the poster and he just holds it up, and Zora pokes his head over it.
It's this guy. It's this dude. This is the dude who had your Spinda.
And
do you know who this is?
Taking the paper, he pores over it for a few seconds, and after looking at the paper, he puts it down, and he looks even angrier than he was before. And then he looks at you and he says, look, you might have been nice enough to get my Pokemon back for me if that is true, but I don't need you to lie to me, okay? I don't know who that guy is, and he's definitely not who stole my Spinda.
So who did?
So who did steal your Spinda?
Well, first of all, it was a girl. And she had very noticeably, obviously, very loud and obnoxiously loud pink hair.
Okay.
And this, he says, indicating the guy who looks like he's got like a crew cut of dark hair, is not the person that stole my Pokemon.
Well, he was the one who had it, I don't know who this pink-haired chick is.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably also a member of Team Tetrad.
Okay, well, as much as that might be true, and before he can finish his sentence, the doors open up, and Nurse Joy walks out, and she looks over at the two of you, and then kind of just smiles politely at Rowan, and then looking over at the gentleman that you're speaking with says, Eric, this is your Spinda, I believe. Your name came up in the list. And he quickly, very carefully, picks up the Pokeball and opens it, and the Spinda pops out. You would notice that the Spinda's fully healed now, looks perfectly healthy, no more bruises or anything on it. And the Spinda's eyes kind of like roll around on its face for a few seconds, and then it notices Rowan, and it like starts to totter over to her, like leaning to one side and then to the other.
Aww.
And then it gets like maybe a step or two away, and then it notices Eric, and it just like lets out a cry, and it like very tripping over itself, falling down, picking itself up, runs over to him, lashing onto his leg and crying.
Aww.
Okay.
Okay. Rowan
You may keep
sees
the spider.
that he is a good guy, even if
He's
he
being
is a bit of a
true
bitch.
asshole.
But she keeps that bit to herself. All right, this kind of a douchebag is actually a good Pokemon trainer. All right, she says. Okay. All right, I'm glad that you got your Pokemon back. See you around.
And he says, hold on a minute. And kneeling down and giving the Spinda a second to let go of his leg and kind of like take a few wobbly steps back and fall on its butt, he kneels down in front of him and says, Spinda, did this scary lady save you? And the Spinda goes on, as a Pokemon does, saying its name over and over again, but its gesticulations give off the idea that it's recounting the tale of how you saved it from the scary man.
I hope it leaves out the details about the knife.
It makes a very obvious, like, butterfly knife flicking motion.
I do not make eye contact with this man during this part of the explanation.
And the guy looks a little taken aback for a second, but then like shakes his head and continues listening. And once the Spinda finishes its story, it turns around to Rowan and kind of like gestures happily at you. And Eric stands back up and nods astutely, and petting the Spinda on the head, walks over to you and says, well, you might not look like much, but Spinda here seems to believe that you were integral to our reunion, and for that, I am very happy. So, I guess, thank you.
Oh my god.
Rowan looks this man up and down, and with every intention gives him a look of, you couldn't hurt me if you tried. And says, you're very welcome.
Were you gonna say something, Ryu?
No.
Okay. All right. So as that occurs, the gentleman picks the Spinda up and cradles him very lovingly and carefully in his arms. And as he begins to turn to walk away, it looks like the Spinda leans up and is like saying something in his ear. And he stops and he turns around, and walking back to Rowan, he says, well, Spinda believes that you deserve some kind of reward. And
Oh, wow. Isn't Spinda so fucking nice?
And taking a small satchel out of the gentleman's pocket, he says, I guess you can have this. And he hands you a small, what looks like bindle, just a small little, like, satchel. You can't really tell what it is. And he says, that will have to suffice as your reward. And once again, from both Spinda and I, thank you very much. And he seems to mean it a little bit more this time. He seems to really be trying to force down his disapproval of you for his actual genuine gratitude. And they turn around and walk away. The Spinda smiling and waving to you wobbly over his shoulder as they exit out the door.
I wave back at the Spinda and smiling and saying, okay, have fun. It was nice to meet you. Bye. To the Spinda, not to Eric.
It's okay. He's
And
already been
as
leaving.
as soon as Spinda is gone, and I just turn around so that I am not facing anyone, and I just sniff a little bit.
Oh.
Not a lot, not a cry, not a tear, just a sniff.
Aw.
And
And
Lily
that is
tries
all I
sniffing
will
too
allow.
to try to figure out what she's smelling.
What'd you
And
get?
What Lily is smelling, actually, is the strange and distinct smell of sand.
Okay. Rowan looks into the bindle.
The bindle is filled with sand.
I could have guessed that based on context clues. What kind of do I notice anything else about the sand? Is it particularly soft, perhaps, or is it you know?
You would notice that the sand, as you run your hands through it, seems to pour through the cracks in your fingers, almost preternaturally. So, yes, it's fucking soft sand.
Nice.
What does that shit do?
It's powers up ground type moves, right?
That's
Yeah.
Alright.
That's gonna be really dope when Nidoran evolves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go.
I won't equip that to Nidoran right now just because it won't help. Well, maybe it will. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and equip Nidoran with it.
Let me spell soft correctly first. Let me spell anything.
It's a 4-letter word.
Let me sit properly, because I'm sitting like
Soft.
fucking awkwardly as
Wow.
hell.
While you are filling that in, I have to admit something.
Yes?
I had the Pokemon confused this whole time, and I thought we had a spinner rack with us.
Are you kidding me?
I
Jay.
forgot that.
Oh my god.
Gosh,
Hey man.
that's fair. Fair. And spinner rack.
There's 700 Pokemon names, and these two have the same first 4 letters. So fucking.
Alright.
Maybe next to the soft sand, I don't know if this is how you want to do it, but like maybe next to the soft sand in parentheses you could put like Nidoran, just so that we know when we're looking at this screen that it's equipped to a Pokemon, but I don't want to tell you how to live your life.
I'm just gonna ask that you make a note.
Alright, I've made a note.
Okay.
Note made.
Cool.
Awesome.
So will that power up any ground type move?
Yes.
Yes.
It
Okay.
powers up any
All
ground
right.
type.
Cool.
Which I don't of which I have none right now, but I will eventually.
Yes.
So right now Nidoran is holding it because it's soft.
I'm gonna imagine, and feel free to play this off however you like, that you've tied this in like a neckerchief-esque like way around his, like maybe a collar, and he's got the little bag of soft sand hanging around his neck.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, good. Anyway, so yeah, congratulations on completing the level 1 quest, saving Spinda.
Yay!
Hooray.
Yeah.
And yeah, you are more or less done at the Pokemon Center and with the Spinda, unless there's anything else you want to do or say while you're here.
I'm done at the center. What else is there in town?
Yeah. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Lily?
Another one. Another walk.
Another one.
Another walk.
Another one.
Does Lily have anything to say, or will you be joining them on the walk?
Yeah, I'm going.
All right.
Lily is waking up still. Lily slept hard.
All right. So as you, let me bring the character card back up. All right. So you guys have left the Pokemon Center, so I should also probably fade that music out. And let's see, what's a good Pokemon town music? Let's just search for some and pick whatever the fuck shows up. Why don't we? This one. All right. Give it a second to kick in, I guess. It's
Nice.
a slow start.
Okay.
Anyway, as you leave the Pokemon Center, you begin walking around the town. The sun is now, in the sky. Not quite noon yet, so there's still a bright yellow glow amidst the town. Again, it's a pretty average, everyday city or suburb. There's houses gently scattered down the blocks. There are a few stores here and there. anything specific you're looking for?
You know, unless any of these buildings stand out as being particularly haunted.
You lived in the primary haunted house of this general area.
He's a little jaded, so maybe even if he saw a good one, he'd be like, not good.
Then not a good.
That's like a rank
connoisseur,
B
if you
haunted
will.
house.
I think probably Seth is pretty happy today, just kind of hanging out with Litwick and Zoro. He's happy to go wherever the team's ready to go.
Yeah, Rowan's still a little bit emotionally drained, so she's sort of following behind. She's not letting Nidoran follow behind her. In fact, she's holding Nidoran.
Yeah.
She's just like, mine. This one's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I love it.
No.
Kieran actually has a question for Rowan. He's gonna kind of sidle up, being as respectful as the sadness will allow. Rowan, I didn't help but overhear your conversation and all that, and he said that a pink-haired person took the Spinda, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it wasn't that guy that we saw on the poster, so I don't know what we're supposed to do with that.
Call me crazy if you will. Didn't Nurse Joy have pink hair? I mean, I just added to the list in case you were curious. I just happened to notice that pink and pink. So just so you know.
Rowan takes a minute. At first, she looks at him like he's absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And then she takes a moment. She's like,
She
Oh,
was
wait.
kind of
Wait a
mean,
second.
if I'm gonna be honest.
But every single Nurse Joy looks alike. So if it had been any Nurse Joy, wouldn't, like, this guy who owned the Spinda, like, have recognized her as a
She
Nurse
just actually
Joy?
had like a mask on her face.
Maybe. I guess it's not that crazy, but it does sound
No.
a little crazy, Karen.
I'll just keep it in the back of my head in case anything else comes up. Okay, I just wanted to mention it. Well, not while she was around.
Yeah, she was a bitch, though, right?
She was such a bitch.
God, thank you. And Rowan, like, fist bumps him. Like, thanks,
Yeah.
dude. Thank you.
Friendship +1.
And
Hell yeah.
as you guys are talking, you walk past a park. And the park's got, little small playground equipment in it, mostly for little kids. There's a little picnic area off to the side. But there seems to be a large group of people that are gathering around. Almost, I'm going to say like maybe a dozen or so people. And they're a little loud, not like obnoxiously so, but enough to know that they are having some sort of group conversation, maybe like a party or something. And as you pass this group, one of them seems to overhear your conversation, and he like perks up for a second and like looks over like he had heard something, and then like kind of shakes his head as if like, oh no, they're talking about something else, and like goes back to the rest of the group and continues talking amongst themselves.
Well, that's specific enough to be suspicious.
He mentioned it, so we should check it out.
Yeah, Rowan is still full of sighs, but she's also full of curiosity, and she sort of meanders towards the big group of people, thinking, "Oh, this could be a battle. Maybe it's a battle. Maybe it's interesting."
And as you walk over to the group of people, you do notice that they are standing in like a ring-like shape, circular shape. They seem to be like crowding around each other. Some are trying to like push over and look over each other's shoulders. There's some like, yeah, come on, get him, yeah. And that's what you see / hear as you approach closer to this group. If you get within any closer distance, you will more than likely be addressed by somebody in the group. So make the decision as to whether or not you want to do that.
I approach.
Oh, yeah, of course he does.
Okay. As you approach, one of the guys turns around and he opens his mouth to say, "Yo, buddy, if you want," and then he looks at you and his
Hello?
eyes just go wide. And he says, "Oh, do you have tickets? Yo, do you have guys, this guy might have tickets! And all of a sudden, the group stops, turns, looks at Kyrian, and they start to swarm around you instead.
What?
Violently, like, trying to push over each other, shoving Poke Dollars, like, in your face. Like, oh, I'll give you 500, I'll give you 1,000, no, I'll give you 2,000.
Whoa!
Shut up, man, I'll give you 1,000,000.
What?
Oh. For what?
And as soon as you say, for what, they all go silent and kind of start, like, looking confused, and, like, their hands go down, and they start, like, covertly tucking their money back in their pockets. And that's when you notice that everybody had gathered around you except for 2 people who were, let's just say, tangled in a knot on where the group had previously been. And when they notice that the attention is no longer on them, they stop and push themselves up. They're both fairly broad-shouldered, kind of burly-looking guys, maybe in their early 20s. And they say, or one of them says, "Come on, that was a 3-count easy, and you guys didn't even... What is going on?" And the guy that had addressed you leans back and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. Guy over here said he had tickets, but he ain't got tickets." And they all kind of just quietly mutter to
I
themselves.
said no such thing!
And they go, like, walking away, and they're like, liar.
What was that about?
Rowan's like, well, you did say you had tickets.
I did not say that I had tickets!
I remember.
You have tickets? Hey, this guy's got tickets!
Dog pile.
Shit. Wait, do I remember seeing a ticket of some kind?
No.
Don't
Okay.
remember that.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So are the guys still on the ground?
No, the 2... So now at this point, there's basically the group of, like, 10 or so guys kind of just standing around talking amongst themselves. They seem a little annoyed or frustrated, but they're, like, tapping around on their phones and, like, saying, "I don't think this guy's got tickets. No. But the 2 other gentlemen who are at least, I'm gonna say, like, they look like they could probably snap a tree in half. They're pretty bulky, strong guys. Maybe if each one grabbed a part of the tree and pushed, it would break. They're talking amongst themselves, and they also seem frustrated, but they're like, that was an easy 3. They weren't even counting. That's how we ever gonna get anywhere if they won't even pay attention to the rules.
I want to walk up to those 2, actually.
All right. So as you approach these 2 large, strapping young men, they turn to look at you. And again, they're probably almost as tall as the Agron that Seth had encountered. And as you walk up to them, they both stop their conversation, turn, kind of look you up and down, and then they look at each other and they say, "Yeah, you know what? I don't blame them. If I saw this guy, they'd get tickets too."
Excuse me? Why would I have any tickets?
I mean, look at you.
Oh. This is the highest fashion of the Dragon Tamers Village! How dare you assume I'm a mere ticket salesman?
Yes, see, he's even got the bit down. So,
Oh,
hold on.
God.
And one of them walks up to you, and he just kind of strolls over, squats down just a little bit, his bulging pectorals at eye level. He gives you a glance up and down and says, "So you're a heel, right?"
A heel?
"Yeah."
I have 2.
No, you're a heel, right? Like, you're the bad guy? That's your whole character shtick, right? It's the only way that you could get away with, and he kind of does like a dismissive at your fashion sense.
Seth passes by in the background. He's like, he's got a pit dove and a Magikarp. He's not the bad guy for anything.
Have you met this? I'm gonna send out the pit of.
The pin-up fucking flexes on him. He's got big
It's
pecs.
just gonna scowl. It's gonna scowl at everything. Just whoa!
And the guy like stands back up and he's like, whoa, okay, look, I'm not trying to
Who's the
threaten.
heel now?
I'm not trying to threaten. I'm sorry, you look like a heel. That's just what I'm saying.
I see. I have a question for you both, which is why I'm here.
And they both cross their arms, their biceps billowing between their chest as they look down at you.
Why were you both using submission on each other?
Okay, so have you been dropped a few too many times? Look, we're obviously practicing to get in on the next big show.
The big show of what?
And at this point, they just start laughing. They just start cracking up. And one of them goes over to you and says, "You don't even know. You have no idea what we're talking about, do you?"
Not a clue, actually.
Oh my god. And the guy that's talking to you waves his friend back and he says, "Yo, Jim, yeah, go take 5. Yeah, the shake, yeah, the shakes are in the cooler. Go get the guys a couple of water bottles. Put it on my tab. They'll know." Yeah, this guy obviously doesn't got tickets. He doesn't even know what we're talking about. And he takes off and he walks back to the rest of the guys. And then back there you hear the group of them laughing.
Oh. Apparently no one likes answering questions.
No, look, I'll take pity on you, okay? Look. You know about the gym, right? In the next city over?
Oh, the, shoot, what's it called?
Hosta City Gym.
The Hosta City Gym?
That's
Yeah.
where we're at.
You know about the Hosta City Gym, right?
I know that you can only approach the doors at night.
Yeah, that's when the show is. So what do you know and what don't you know? Because you seem to know a lot more than you're letting on.
Well, we are taking the Pokemon League challenge and we're heading to the gym. But we're supposed to be fighting with Pokemon, not with people, as far as I understand.
And he immediately goes pale when you say that.
Oh.
You.
Yeah.
You are going to be No.
Yeah.
And he just like
What
covers
do you
his
think
mouth,
the cape is for?
and he says,
What do you think the cape is for?
Status!
Oh.
and he says, "You're actually going to try to take on Dangerous Dayton?"
Dayton?
Come again?
Dangerous Dayton!
Is that one on TV? I think I saw Dangerous Dating.
No.
Never mind that.
And he pulls out of his pocket his phone and like hitting a few notes into his keypad. He flips over the phone and shows you what looks like an advertisement of this like gotta be 6.5, 7 foot tall, rippling biceps, massive pectorals, tiny tight little wrestling shorts, and with over his face is a mask that mocks or resembles the face of a Makuhita. And flexing on the screen, almost printed directly into his arm so it looks like he's crushing the text with his body, says, "Dangerous Dayton destroys trainers." And then it has the date of like, we'll just say like within the next couple of days, underneath of that. And it says, "Be there or be dead."
So we're gonna die if we do not go? I mean, I feel threatened. We better get, like, picking up the pace, right? Anyway. Sorry, Seth had a giggle there for a moment.
Sorry, I was having a giggle, sir.
Yes. Oh, so that's who we're gonna meet in the next town. I see.
And then he, like, kind of blinks in confusion. He's like, "But how? He must have known that a challenger was coming. But you don't even seem to understand your ass from a hole in the ground. Very peculiar."
I want to say that I do, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. But anyway! At least we have some intel. We may have gone off to a bit of a rough start in the beginning, but we're getting our feet under me, and it seems like we're going towards a fighting gym.
Well, we could ask.
Is it a fighting gym?
And this guy, who I'm just gonna say his name is Michael because he's a fucking worthless NPC here to merely convey information, says, you should probably know that the gym in Hosta City is not just a fighting gym.
Just?
Yeah, how are you from the Cetra region? Have you lived here? You do know how the Pokemon League works, right?
No.
Do you even have a
actually-
trainer ID?
I have a
Why are
trainer
all
ID.
These NPCs such fucking jerks.
They're all being played by Falshay.
Yeah.
It's guilty.
Originally, I may have come from Johto, actually.
And then he kind of chuckles and shakes his head. Fucking figures.
And what does that mean?
I just want to check something really quickly to confirm. Sorry, 1 second. And he says, yeah, it would figure that somebody that came from, Johto, where... What was his name? Charging Chuck? God. He fell down in the first round, tripped over his own goddamn belt. Well, look. Because I'm going to take pity on you and assume that your get-up apparently isn't intended to convey the aspect of a heel, I'm just going to let you know that Dayton, his gym is dark fighting type. So... you're gonna have to prepare more than just your piddly old psychic types to take him down, or he's going to crush you for sure.
Seth looks at his ghost and dark type team and he says, about that.
Kyrian has a passing thought about trying to get a Pidove to love him.
Oh no.
This
This subplot is my new favorite subplot.
Anyway, I am gonna go back with my boys, and we're gonna keep trying to search for tickets on eBay. So if you manage to
just flat out eBay.
know anybody that has tickets, we'd love to see you get flattened.
Ah.
And he kind of just turns around and waves you off dismissively.
Ah! Yeah! We'll see you there! Yeah.
I take Kieran by the back of his cape and I just keep dragging him away.
Just
from
reel him
these-
in.
I want you to sing in the right! I kicked his ass!
I just reel him right in. And just put
Ah,
my, all right, Kieran, let's go. It's time to go. All right.
I'll just
Scream
cross
time
my
was
arms and get
last
drug
time.
along.
And we continue on because those NPCs were douchebags.
I'm probably about ready to head on for Hostia town. I wanna see this gym.
Yeah,
I wanna see
yeah.
it.
Let's
Do we
keep
want to
going.
stop by the Pokemon at all?
Oh yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah,
since
why
we
not?
have all this money that
Hey,
we
money.
got for the spinda.
Yeah.
He's in a better place now.
He's not. That guy was an asshole.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Do we find the Pokemon Mart?
Yeah, you'll be able to find a local Pokemon Mart. It's just we'll say tucked in the corner of town, not too far from the. Actually, you know what? Where is my map? I think it's the northern exit that leaves towards. I'm not sure where this is going to open, so I apologize. Ooh, it might open on the screen. So. Whoop! You guys didn't see that, even though I sent that picture to you anyway.
Damn it, I've missed
yeah.
my print screen.
So it is. Oh shit! Let me grab that too. It is the northern exit that leads to Route 3, which would lead to Hosta City. There is a westerly exit, which actually leads out across one of the largest bodies of water in Cetra. And the Pokemon Center is going to be more close to the Route 3 exit, we'll just say for the sake of convenience. And at that location, where is it? There it is. They sell Pokeballs for 200 Poke Yen. They sell potions for 300 Poke Yen. They sell antidotes for 100 Poke Yen. They sell Paralyze Heal for 200. Yeah, it's more or less your pretty standard first level Pokemon shop, so don't think I have to describe much more than that.
Yeah, that should be good.
Well, since we're pooling our resources and basically all of our items, I think we should probably agree on how much we should be spending versus saving right now versus investing in items.
Yeah.
We really have next to nothing, so let's not leave empty-handed. I think we should get some more Pokeballs, some healing items,
Yeah.
some
At least
potions.
2 potions per person, I would think.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree
think
with that.
probably for right now at least we're doing okay on Pokeballs, but potions would be nice.
You don't think we need more Pokeballs?
We have 15, right?
No.
Yeah, but we could miss.
15
True.
divided by 4, I don't know.
We only have
You just get, like,
5,000.
5? Well, yeah, I guess that's
I guess.
true. Can we sell anything?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do this for now.
Yeah. Key items in the corner. $5,000.
Anyway,
pretty key.
you're more than welcome. Were you guys gonna purchase anything, or?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get 8 potions.
Mm.
Okay.
8 potions
8
times
potions.
300, that's gonna be 23?
Wait, that was dumb. Nobody look at that.
No,
There we
that's stupid.
You typed in potion in your
24.
I did. Shut up.
potion seller. Give me your strongest calculator.
300 times 8. You
Have
said?
Rowan sell her knife.
Oh, do you buy axe?
No. We.
Do you buy split wood?
Yeah, at $1 Poke Dollar each.
I will get started.
Oh my god.
No, you're not. You're not gonna do that.
Ka-cha.
So, are you actually going to buy the 8 potions?
How much is it? Sorry.
2,400. So you would end up with 2,600.
Let's get 6 potions instead. It's a lot.
I agree. Just to make sure we have a little bit less.
600 back, and that leaves you with 3,000.
Is everybody good with this?
Yep.
Shared money. Alright, cool.
Wait, that doesn't sound right. Hold on. You said 6 potions? 6
Yeah.
times 300 is okay. Yeah.
I would maybe recommend at least 1 antidote. That could be nasty.
Yeah, how much were the antidotes?
100.
All right.
Let's get 3 of them.
Sure.
Okay.
There's Joy hooking us up, or Officer Jenny hooking us up.
Finally have some money.
And how many antidotes
And I
you
guess
said?
we'll have to save some for the frickin' next gate.
3 antidotes, please.
3 antidotes. All right. So,
How much did the last gate want for us to get through? I can't remember.
I also do not remember
it wasn't a lot. It was like 50 each. You guys just didn't
Ah.
have money at all.
anything.
Any money.
I've got, like, this money, is it good outside of the league?
Yeah, sure. Let's just say so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go buy an Abra. At the...
I mean, it's like the same question. Why
Game
the
corner.
fuck would your like mom send you out on this journey with literally no money?
It's true.
Yeah.
Hi, Tendril.
I was living up in the woods. I didn't need money.
Anyway,
If something's convenient, it's probably.
I'm
in
happy
Pokemon.
with that. If we don't want to get anything else.
Yeah, I'm good.
Unless one of you guys has your eye on something.
Nah, I think we're pretty good.
Cool.
All right, then that's it.
all right, great. So, bring your character-
To the adventure!
You should probably put the potion and the antidote in the medicine pocket, right?
Oh, shit, you're right. Where is items? There it is. Potion. Boop. An antidote. Boop. There we go. We'll get all the gaming conveniences figured out eventually. So great. So you finish up there. You get all your stuff nice and packed away. By the time you get back outside, you can see that the Wrestling Federation of this town's park is back in order, and they are, well, they're wrestling all right, and you're free to do whatever you like, including walking away from them as quickly as possible.
I do that, and as towards Route 3, and call over my shoulder back at them that maybe they'll hear, maybe they won't. Nerds!
Coming!
Not
Really,
you!
Lily shouts, I'm sure you're all lovely people.
All right, so as you guys begin to move towards the northern exit of town, you begin to see the opening of Route 3, and in the far distance, you can see that the large, imposingly tall buildings of Hosta City are casting shadows along the route. If you were in a suburb previously, what you're looking at down the line is probably the equivalent to, like, New York City.
Holy crap.
Mm.
Hosta City is bigger than I thought it was.
And on the way, a nice little set of trees. And,
Yeah,
like, you know,
and there's a nice
bushes
little
and
set of
such.
trees and a little pathway.
Do we have a picture of Route 3?
There should be
We
two,
do
right?
not, actually.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
As we're
That's
not
totally
expecting you
fine.
to get to Route 3 by this point, but that's fine.
Sorry.
We got ahead of
No,
ya.
no, it's okay. I mean, there's only like another 20 minutes left anyway in the session, so what we can do is that I do have a interesting list here. But anyway, as you are beginning to leave town and the sounds of a whole bunch of good old Wrestle Boys emanates behind you,
Ooh, ha, oh,
you are relinquished, set free onto Route 3. The beginning, let's just say, a mile of which is just a standard grassy knoll which extends far into the distance. You can see that a good far distance away, at least longer than Route 2 was, that Hosta City lies over the horizon, its tall, glowering buildings awaiting you. You also know that, from your previous information, challengers are only accepted at night, so it will probably be convenient, by plot or otherwise, that you may not get there until this
night.
evening.
Yeah,
Cool. Good timing.
but new
sounds
route!
about right.
Yes!
Good thing everybody got a good day of sleep.
Yeah. Right. Well, at least Seth and Lily are
Doing all right.
doing okay
Yeah.
sleep-wise.
Passes out.
I was wandering the city at night.
You were.
But
Uh,
we do now know what the gym is, and we're kind of okay. Rowan has a poison type, which can learn double kick for the darkest ones. I
It
have
might not be a bad idea if we try to level up just a little bit before we
that
get
may
there,
be a good
right?
idea, yeah. I
Yeah,
do
that's-
have Pidove, but it's part normal, and that's always the worst when fighting type.
You sound like you got a lot of experience here, man.
Well, mostly I just read a lot of books before coming here.
Oh.
I really
You
wanted
wanna
to do
read?
well, and yeah, novel, isn't it?
Cool.
Wait, Rowan looks over her shoulder at Seth, who's walking behind her. You don't know how to read?
Who would have taught me?
Ghosts?
Why would they want me to know?
Wow. That's
Read their
Is it canon
gravestones.
now that Seth doesn't know how to read?
I'm trying to think if he's read anything up until now. I guess
I mean,
not.
the Pokedex has been talking to him, so there's no proof there.
You know, until proven otherwise. Until it becomes plot.
Seth may or may
He-
not know how to read.
I mean, can I read? Who can tell?
Hey,
right,
I'm Seth, I'm
guys?
19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
You guys so
No one really knows how to read, right? I mean, like,
I'm super stoked for this route, guys.
Okay, so can I roll for perception of things that we can fight / catch?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So we'll say this. There are 3 points of interest in your immediate eyesight. One is a small stream that runs just out of the route and goes over the horizon far to the west. There is a cluster of bushes that are nearby that are very dense and thick and likely packed with some type of life forms inside. And then off in the distance, there's actually a small quarry of rocks. Not man-made, just a small little outcropping of rocks that had maybe collected due to collapsed earth or whatever.
What was the second one again?
So basically, there's a stream, there's a bunch of bushes, and then off in the distance, there's a small rocky outcropping on the side of a mountain.
Dragons like rocks.
Well, Hannah,
Do
or
they?
rather Rowan,
Well, they
had
live by
asked,
them.
so she can choose which area she wants to investigate.
Rowan also wants to check out the rocks.
Yes, the rocks!
All right, so as you walk over towards the rocky outcropping, which seems to be this mountainous surface that leads upward pretty tall. You can't see any cave entrances, but there are a lot of large overturned boulders that are just kind of cracked and falling apart. And if you want to do a further investigation, I would request that you roll a d20.
Yo.
Okie dokie. Me?
Yeah, you're the one investigating.
It's a 3.
All right, so as you investigate, you find a hard stone.
That's a nice stone. Nidoran smells it and turns it over. There's nothing under it, but we checked.
Very nice, very nice. You actually realize that this hard stone is literally...
Huh?
as
A hard
soon
stone?
as yes.
Yeah.
It's literally a hard
Oh.
stone.
That's kind of nice.
That up rock type
By
moves?
holding a rock, the rocks hit harder? Or do they throw the rock?
Hey, that's not up for me to decide, buddy.
All right. Well, hey guys. Anyone want a rock? I have one. I found one. It's hard. So we have that. I'm gonna count that as a part of our inventory now.
This route has already been fruitful. I like it.
Rocks aren't fruit, Jay.
He was
Very
Shut up, voice in my head.
Why am I self-snarking myself?
Anyway, well, the rocky outcropping seems to have provided no such luck in terms of Pokemon, but you did, however, find a rock. Good job.
I found a rock.
Sorry.
You mean sorry?
I don't know.
No,
Sorry
okay.
for only finding a rock. It's a really nice rock, though.
It's a rock.
It's not just a boulder. It's just a rock.
But if somebody else would like to check either the bushes or the river, they're more than welcome to.
I have 3. I will wait. But unless
Seth
anyone
gives Lily a little nudge. You want to check it out? You want to see if there's anything around? Huh?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Lily.
All right.
Sure, fucking I'll roll for you.
I
mean, it's a dance.
Don't feel obligated to do something you don't want to do. If you don't want to do anything, that's fine. I'm providing the opportunity for the group to look at one of the other 2 options if they're interested.
What were the other 2 options?
There's a river and some bushes.
a river.
I'll
I'm
take
sorry,
whichever
bush and
one
what?
you don't want.
River.
Bush and a river. Okay.
I just went. I'm tempted to do either one of them, but I did just go.
You
so.
may go again by my count.
I would
All
say you
right.
can go again as well.
Okay,
Well-
if literally no one else wants to do anything, then Hannah,
I
you're
wanted
more
to, but I want to be
Fine,
fair.
guys, I'm taking the head. I only got Nidoran. It's me and Nidoran against the world. We're checking a bush.
Okay, so as you manage to step cautiously up to the bush, go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay, please don't be a 3. Please be better than a 3. It's a 7.
Hey!
It's better than 3.
All right. That was a noise.
Better than 3.
All right.
Carrion just goes, sorry.
So as you approach the bush, you start to hear a small skittering sound. And while doing so and digging around, you notice that a small creature pokes its head out and looks up at you. Its tiny little eyes kind of craning around and like backing into the bush once it notices that somebody's looking at it.
Can I pull out my Pokedex and analyze the sitch?
You absolutely can.
Okay, I do that.
All right, so taking the Pokedex out, it beams in, taking a look at the eyes, and after a few seconds, the scan pulls up, and where are the notes? Give me 1 second, I didn't expect my notes to disappear.
No one expects this.
I expected us to find a bush.
No, it's fine. As you begin scanning around, the Pokedex indicates that there is a Nincada hiding in the bushes.
Oh.
Nincada. Okay.
Wait, can we get 2 Pokemon out of this thing?
I'm sorry, what?
Technically? Oh, because Nikita can become Shedinja.
This is the one that evolves into. Yeah, this is the
And
one that evolves
Ninjask.
into 2 separate Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me neat.
That's pretty neat.
It's a good question, isn't it?
No.
Okay. All right. Rowan's gonna go ahead and send out Nidoran. Nidoran, go. Let's take on this Nincada.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this requires some battle music. Let me go ahead and grab that. God damn it! Like I have to look up wild Pokemon battle music. Otherwise, it's like you want Elite Four Omega straight hardest challenge battle music ever. No, this is literally just a Nincada. Chill your fucking jets.
You want the champion theme? You want the super special secret champion theme? No, I want Route 2 fighting.
Route 2 wild battle Pokemon theme, please.
There might have
Anyway.
been like a preschooler you'd fight this theme with.
All right, so you send the Nidoran out, and your Nidoran can see just the little eyeballs poking out through the bush, kind of still looking at you. 2 tiny little whisker-like appendages also poking out underneath of the eyeballs, wiggling beneath them.
Nidoran, use Peck.
All right, so go ahead and roll a d20.
Right, no, it's Peck. Good.
11.
All right, and let me just bring that up real quick. And roll a d6.
That's this one. Right. The normal looking one. 5.
All right. Cool. So the Nincada inside of the bush gets rammed by the horn of the Nidoran, and it pops out of the bush, kind of skittering around in a circle like it doesn't know where it is, and then noticing the thing that had attacked it, it kind of glares, and then it rears its head back, and then getting ready, its maw opens wide, and it just kind of gets a glassy sheen over its body and glows a slight golden color.
Okay.
It used harden, its defense went up.
Yeah, alright. Nidoran, use Focus Energy.
Alright, and its critical hit stat went up. You'll now crit on a 19 or 20.
Okay.
Well, it's not your turn yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was your move. The Nincada walks up all glowy and shiny now, and raising up one of its massive talon leg things, brings it down gently across Nidoran, and it actually missed. Never mind.
Oh,
It kind of just swipes the air past the Nidoran's ear.
Good job, Nidoran! Proud of you, Nidoran. Doing so good. Use Peck.
All right, and go ahead and roll the d20.
Is that 6 or 9?
That is a 9.
Yay.
right.
9.
So you hit, and then go ahead and roll a d6.
4.
All right. So. All right. So, as you peck the Ninkata again, it kind of just falls back on its little torso and begins to like struggle to stand back up, still glowing. And you will now know that the Ninkata is at about 20%. And fearing for its life at this point, staring up at the massive beast that attacked it in its own little bush, it uses Harden once again. Now pretty much just curling up in a ball, trying to do anything but die within the next couple of seconds.
Oh, I feel really bad for it, but heck.
But heck, I kill it.
12. It's a 12 on my d20 and 2 on the d6.
Oh, you're attacking it again.
Yeah.
Okay. You said a 2 on the d6?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 2. All right. Well, that was really lucky. Because now the thing's basically got 5% HP left. And it is pretty much almost incapable of moving at this point. And let me see. What is he going to do?
Well, if she knocks it out, will she still have the opportunity
No,
to catch it
if you knock out the Pokemon, you can't catch it.
What do you
And then,
think?
Oh, like in the game.
yes, almost as if this were a game. Desperately attempting.
Well, in the show!
Desperately attempting to
In
find
the show,
some
Ash
small
doesn't knock
vestiges.
every Pokemon unconscious. Fucking.
Yeah, because then you would
Try.
just always use all of your hardest techniques to knock things out, and that's no fun.
Yeah.
Grasping onto the desperate vestiges of life and trying to find some avenue of escape, the thing attempts to use Absorb. And it manages to hit. And you take all of 2 damage.
Oh no.
It regains all of 1 HP.
Oh.
And it goes back to like 92%.
92%
Health.
health.
No. Sorry. It goes back to being at 7% health. Sorry.
Oh,
Trying
okay.
to use. I should remain on remaining HP. It has 7% remaining HP.
Man, do I want
Do it!
this?
Do it
I
doesn't
know.
indicate anything, Jay.
Oh.
But do something.
Yeah, peck again. Sorry. We're just training here at the Mo.
But it resists fighting type!
Oh, does it? Crap.
Yes!
But is it
Oh.
right in your heart, Rowan?
It should be noted that you are granted XP for catching Pokemon.
Yeah, okay,
Ah.
fine. I'll catch the goddamn Ninkata.
I mean, okay, don't feel obligated. I just want you to
No.
know that you will be granted XP for catching the Pokemon. You don't have to kill it. But if you
It's a good strategy!
don't want
No,
it,
you know what? I'm not feeling it in my heart. I don't want it. She doesn't even like bugs. I'm pecking again.
All right, cool.
all right, go ahead, roll.
Oh, right. It's another 9 on the d20 and a 4 on the d6.
All right, and as you lay into the Ninkata with a final peck, it does get knocked out. And let me bring up the information here. And come on. There we go. All right, great. So you knock out the Ninkata, and your Nidoran actually levels up.
Yay!
Hooray!
Goes to
And it
level
evolves,
6.
though, enough.
No.
Hooray!
And it learns Poison Sting.
Yes!
All right, that'll help.
And this music can stop.
Yay!
Hooray!
I need a red
Aw.
It did such a good job. I scratched it behind its pokies.
Very cute.
Not on the Pokies, very important.
Not on the pokies, behind the pokies.
All right, so capturing that Ninkata, or not capturing, sorry, knocking out that Ninkata, the body of the bug begins to slowly lurch back into the bush until it disappears from view. Likely impossible to recover from today's battle within the next, well, who knows how long.
my God.
That being done, there may be just enough time if anybody wants to investigate the river before we go today. If not, we can always pick this up next time.
I'd
Let's
like
go ahead
to-
and break.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay.
Never mind. That's just to see what it is. Yeah.
So, Jay, you're going to go look in the river?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead and roll a d20.
I bringeth you an 18.
An 18.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. All right, and as you look around in the water, you find something small and black and laying very low at the bottom of the river. Do you want
What
to
is
reach
that?
in to get it?
Huh? Do it. Do it. Rowan's calling back.
Do it.
Do it.
Yes. I reach in to get it.
All right, so you reach in, and as your hand descends into the water, it wraps around something hard and cold. And do you want to slowly, or as fast as you want, pull it out of the water?
Yes.
All right. Pulling it out of the water, you can feel its glassy, smooth surface under your grasp. And as you unfurl your fingers and take a look, you find in your hand a pearl.
Oh, holy shit.
Nice.
Money. Okay.
That's free money.
We're gonna sell this so hard.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Oh, that's helpful.
to the-
Yeah. Money is
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like money.
There you go.
Maybe we
Nice
can find a rich little
find.
old lady. Hey, you want to buy a pearl for a lot of money?
It can be
Nice
sold
one,
to a
man.
maniac for a high price.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that was convenient. So
TV were just
yeah,
died.
TV were just
Oh.
crashed. So
Okay.
anyway, having gotten your opportunity to explore the first stretch of Route 3, you leave the noisy, rambunctious group of people in the town behind you at bay and press onward toward Hosta City, looming in the distance at the end of Route 3.
Yay.
To be continued.
We're going to ruin this route.
Hooray.
We are then going to be subsequently ruined by this gym.
Yes.
'Cause I will not be any use during that. I will not. That's gonna be rough for my my types right now.
If there's any pure fighting, you can hold them off. But yeah, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll find out how it works.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't imagine they're all going to be fighting types.
Well, some dark.
They're dark slash fighting. So I'm sure some of them will be dark, some of them will be fighting, and some of them will be both.
Mhm.
We're gonna see a pandaroo or whatever that thing's called.
I could scare it the fuck away with my new Zorua.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know how
Oh,
effective that's gonna
we
be
can
in a
use
fight.
scare
though.
tactics. Yeah.
I'll trick his. Well, what's a dark fighting type? There's got to be one. I know. That sounds familiar. You know what? I won't look it up. I'll be surprised when it comes out.
Yeah.
But he sends out something after me, and I don't know. I'll trick it into thinking it's fighting a champ, and then it'll run into a wall because it was an illusion.
Sure, why
Yeah, that'll be what I did.
Chase this Pidgey.
Great. Now that I've revealed my plan, it won't work.
not? That is how anime works.
Yes.
Good plan. Takes notes.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I like that one.
Good. I'm
Yeah, that
glad.
was a really fun episode.
Good job, Shane. Good story.
It was
And-
a good end to the Spinda arc. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna get to keep that Spinda. I had
I know.
a feeling, and I'm still sad about it.
Well, you
Sorry.
could have stolen it.
We could have stolen it, and I thought about it hard.
Spinda gets added to key items. You still can't use it. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming out to play, and thank you everybody out there for coming to watch. The next episode will be, if schedule holds, in 2 weeks. So I hope to see you then. In the meantime, do come back next Friday for our Zelda D&D session, where I will be a player, and our very own Burger Baby Ryu here will be the DM.
It's going to be episode 14, so I hope you're caught up.
Yeah.
But you'll have a good time if you're not.
Good luck.
If
And
not,
if you
you
come
can
back-
find all of the information on ZeldaDND.com.
Oh, that's cool.
Once you're
Hey,
done
when
with
did this go up?
oh, it's been live for years. And
Yeah.
once you're done with that, you can swing by ChallengerApproachingTV.com. Ha, I said it correctly. And
You
check
did.
out all the other stuff that we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's
That
like
would be
links
pretty
and
cool.
shit down there.
For
So.
Yeah, we have a
example-
YouTube channel, you know.
For example, if you show up at 7 tomorrow, we're going to be doing our first a debut read-through of my all-time favorite series story of all time, One Piece.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I'm nervous.
I'm
I'm
looking
assuming
forward to
that
it.
I'm a part of that.
You are.
Good. I'll finally have a reason to read One Piece.
Dun, 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 dun.
Heck yeah. Well, good stream, everybody.
Yep.
Good
And
stream.
good night,
Fun, fun.
everybody. Bye.
Good night.
It was so